Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to everyone who is watching the stream. Today, we are going to have another show match, and today is going to be Too Easy Bagär versus Too Easy Jazz. This is the final match, the finale for the Division 1, the top league in Too Easy community. So basically, this is whoever wins this is, in theory, the best team in Too Easy community. So before we actually jump in, talk to some of the players before we start the match, let's go ahead and play a beautiful video edited by Too Easy Pixel Rory. Enjoy.
They have hands, or you shouldn't stay out there.
I'm alright, I believe.
Do I have permission to send the bomb if I see it?
Absolutely.
I
believe in your bomb.
Can we rally trans?
We already did this
If you're
today.
gonna die, I'll allow it.
Oh no!
Slamming main.
Shit! I'm being
You're actually the biggest group of interest I've ever met.
So how do you think the tournament's been going?
I mean, we've basically hard stomped every single team, so I just expect the same thing to happen again. To be honest.
Words of confidence. Do you have any? Are you going to change your game plan or anything, or are you gonna keep to what we've seen so far?
It's probably just gonna be the same. I mean, it worked, so
Yep. Don't change what isn't
Yeah.
broken. Don't fix what
Yep.
isn't broken.
Yeah, sounds good. Any expectations going into Overwatch 2? Obviously you can't really, I guess, leak your team news, but anything like that?
I
Any
mean,
expectation?
yeah. I'm excited for Overwatch 2, but I mean, our team is probably gonna do good in Overwatch 2 as well. So I'm just excited, to be honest.
Yeah, do you think you're going to stay on your off tank, or maybe some role swap? Are
Probably.
we going to see you on?
Probably, yeah.
We're going to see
Probably
you on the
swing
Doomfist, maybe?
on the Doomfist. Maybe. Who knows?
Is there
Yeah.
any characters that you're extra excited about playing in Overwatch 2 or
Ursa.
anything? Orisa, and about
Yeah.
what about like anything else that you're really excited about, like maybe like the new game mode or any of the new maps?
Dude, I'm most excited about the removal of 2CP because now I don't have to play Temple no more.
Yes, of course, of course. I was talking to my friend about it, one of my teammates, and we were asking, are they going to rework the maps that are currently on? Are they going to turn Anubis into an escort map or something else? We will have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we have. Well, I mean, thank you very much, Vili, for your takes on this. I think we're going to have someone else joining us very soon. You're free to head back to your
Okay.
voice
Bye.
chat
Thank
for
you very much.
preparation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, some words from Vili there. The off tank for Bagär, talking about his thoughts on the tournament so far, how he expects today to go down. Obviously, he sounded very confident. True, I think you can agree that.
Yes, of course, definitely. Seems like we're ready to see a Frio maybe, or hopefully Jazz maybe will pull something out of the bag. Animated, I know you're.
Jazz have to at this point.
Of course, it'd be interesting. It would be nice to see a closer game. The last scrim or last show match I casted was a bit of a roll, so it'd be interesting to see a closer game. And I think everyone else that's watching out there would like a closer match.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I don't think I've seen many 3-1s. I think it's been a lot of 3-0s and a lot of 3-2s.
Yes,
People
definitely.
seem to, it's either a stomp or it's a ridiculously close game, and I think it's gonna be one of those today. Coming out here talking about getting another 3-0, they have to live up to their words. You'd expect.
Of course.
But-
So I think we're ready to. Shall we talk about compositions briefly, and rosters maybe, and go from there?
Yeah, sounds good. So we'll start with Bagár, obviously. We can expect a lot of ball, I reckon, from them. A lot of the ball, the classic ball diva stuff. Potentially seeing a Farah come out. Maybe they're staying on the Echo Tracer. I think we're just going to see what's kind of considered to be meta.
Yes.
I'm not expecting anything too creative, but
Yeah, no, some sort of very standard compositions, as you say. Nothing crazy. Abusing the ball, and it'll be interesting to see if there will be mirror matchups coming out from Jazz, or we'll be seeing some very interesting comps coming out from them.
yeah, I'm not. I'd be very surprised if Jazz come out on a bull comp. They obviously have Zupo, famous for his May and his sim taking rank hostage, as he would say. And I think we're going to expect a lot of these May and these sim strats coming out with things that probably we haven't seen before. I know I've seen him in the practice range, just looking for TP spots. So I'm really excited to see what he can pull out here. I think it is worth talking about some of the Bagár players as well. They have Milky Way, very very strong brig. So I'm very excited for today's matchup. Hopefully it's good, and just can't wait really.
Fantastic! I'm super excited. I haven't seen any Bagár players nor Jazz players play before, but yes, maybe I can learn a thing or two from Milky Way. Then I'll be keeping an eye out. Shall we have a quick look at Jazz composition as well? Probably slightly different to, as you say, the standard composition that we generally see. As you say, Zupo, very well known for his May and Symmetra, so that will be very interesting.
Zoom is kind of seen as a Ryan player. He's obviously from South Africa, so he's been playing a lot of ping. He plays on pretty high ping, I think. So he'll be probably not favouring the ball, but we will see. I'm expecting a lot of brawl. and a lot of dive from them, a lot of monkey, a lot of these standard kind of 2016, 2017 comps to come out, and we'll just see, they're confident on that. Can they pull something out the bag against a bull comp, which, has been shown to struggle against these type of comps?
Of course, very, very interesting. And I would be very excited to see how well they do perform with these older comps. It's exciting, and I really enjoy seeing sort of the OG comps coming out. I had a game the other day where we had a Genji, and it's just interesting to see them. And I think we all missed the OG standard dive. So yes, some sort of nostalgia with maybe whatever they're playing, even if it's a little bit off meta, would be very interesting.
Yes, definitely. Well, I think it's time to introduce our second guest. We have Mr. Zupo, the man we were talking about, here to speak with us. Let me bring him in. Hello, Zupo.
Hello, how are you doing?
Very, very good. How are you?
I am very fine as well. I'm excited.
Yeah, so we just talk a little bit about your experience in the tournament so far. How have you found
What have we found?
the tournament?
Have you found the tournament so far?
It's been really interesting. Of course, our team being a bit more on the scuffed side with having some schedule problems, but every time we got to play, it's been really, really fun.
That's
Yeah,
good
and
to
then
hear.
what are you expecting from today's match? Obviously, I don't know if you heard Villy come in here and talk about he's expecting to 3-0 you guys pretty fast.
Lily is expecting to 3-0 as well. He should have learned from rank the past few days.
So, what have you been doing? Any specific preparation into this as you move into this final? Or are you keeping it? Are you got any tricks up your sleeve? Or are you keeping it as you have previously? Have you done much prep towards to Bagär?
The team advised me to answer no.
Okay, okay.
No prep.
I presumed that would be the answer. So, of course, we may have some stream sniping happening right now, but I'm sure that's not the case.
Nah,
Fantastic.
we are all good sportsmen. I don't think they would do that.
Of course not.
Yeah, and I mean, it wouldn't be the final day of Overwatch without talking about Overwatch 2. Any thoughts on, obviously your signature heroes or anything like that?
Well, I've been spending a lot of time thinking, and I honestly can't wait to get my hands on the game itself. But I think I can make May work as well in Overwatch 2 as I did in Overwatch 1, even without the freeze.
Even without the freeze. For people in chat who may not be as experienced as you on the May character, do you want to can you run through the changes they have to May for people who aren't
they-
aware? Or
They mainly did two quick changes. They removed the freeze from her primary fire, but therefore amped up the damage to, I think it is 100 HP per second by now.
That's what I heard. So basically, you're basically playing Pyro from TF2 now.
Essentially, yes.
yeah, so I mean, it'll be very interesting to see how your playstyle can change and adapt to fit into this new May playstyle.
There will definitely be some changes.
Yeah. And I'm very, very excited to see it.
Well, you will see it. You will see it.
I hope I will, definitely.
Don't let those Zippo fans down by not playing May anymore.
Oh no, I've been getting some shit for not playing Overwatch at all the last few days.
Coming out with the VTuber on Twitch first day, that would be very interesting to see. But
I might throw in a May Wednesday tomorrow if I get a call today.
Well, I'll make sure I tune in. I think that would be all, unless Tree, you have anything?
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you have any other comments or questions or anything else you want to say about Overwatch 2, or are you ready to play and show who's the better team?
I am definitely ready to play. I'm excited to play this game and later on, hopefully, the beta already. And yeah, I just can't wait to click some heads.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming out here and talking.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see your
good luck
gameplay
with your
shortly.
Well, I think, game's starting soon.
I think the final thing that we need to talk about is maps. I think from what I remember, we're moving towards a control map first.
Yes, Busan, first map. What can we expect from Busan? Well, pretty versatile map.
Yes, I love Busan. As I said last time I was casting, the thing I love about control maps is there's so many different compositions that you can play. So yes, it will be very interesting to see what people come out with and
Yeah,
what the
without a
prep
doubt.
has been.
Yeah, I think we can probably predict what's going to happen on most of these. I think Mecha Base, they're almost definitely going to be a brawl versus bull comp where you have this kind of situation where this bull comp end up chasing around the backline of the bull comp for about 10 years, hoping they'll eventually catch up to him. And if they do, they
Yes,
tend to win that fight.
yes.
If they don't, then retaking space becomes quite difficult.
Yes, of course. That will be very interesting to see. The cat and mouse,
Yeah, the
that
cat and mouse.
ball endures. And then
Yes.
obviously on these more open maps such as Sanctuary and Downtown, maybe seeing more of the Ball Diva dive comps that I would probably accept. Maybe a Farah, but it'll be interesting to see what they come out with.
Yeah, I think you tend to see on downtown, especially, you tend to see kind of either the bull comp where they try and go really really fast to these
Yeah.
megas and get the hack off, and then kind of set their backline on that high ground ring around point, or you see people running out on these 6-man comps and just trying to go really really fast on the backline, and I think that's kind of what I'm expecting to see on downtown, at least, this 6-man versus bull matchup where it's really just can the backline of this bull comp rotate well enough, or can they be cared for well enough by their team to not let this 6-man ever touch them? And I think that'll be quite interesting to see, which team can prove that they're, the stronger one in that matchup, because it
Of
tends to be,
course. Of
in
course.
theory, 6-man should win, but
It'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see any special plays that are coming out from both sides, and how if they play into each other's weaknesses, and if there's a mental game there, and so on. It'd be very interesting.
yeah. And then obviously last map, kind of the special ball map where you see a lot of these Soldier Sig comps or Ash Sig comps where they play
Yes,
for points. I'm really not expecting anything other than a mirror matchup there, but
we will see.
we will definitely see. And very
Fantastic.
exciting to see what's gonna happen.
Of course.
Any thoughts from you for Overwatch 2 going into it?
I'm not gonna lie. I just love the look of a new Arissa. She just looks so much fun.
Yeah,
I can't. I just want to push people off the map with her abilities.
where she runs at them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that just. I mean, I watched a Flats video the other day, and that's just made for anyone who is unaware. Flats did a video. He's a very good tank player. He did a video on all the changes of Overwatch 2, and yes, the sound. The other thing that I'm really really excited for, I think some people have different opinions on, is the new sounds. Like some of the new
Yes.
sounds are absolutely phenomenal.
The Widow sound.
Yes,
I don't know if you've
mean,
heard it.
I actually there was a video I saw where someone had posted a video saying that they love the new Widow sound, and actually the Widow execute sound or the Widow shot sound sounds exactly like the Star Wars Battlefront 2 sound when you kill an enemy. It sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
It's very interesting. But I know that some people have said that they're worried that some of the sounds are sounding a bit like COD-like and not really like Overwatch 2, and not really like, I don't know. I'm excited. It's different and unique, and I won't know until we start playing properly.
Yeah, the clip I had seen about the Widow specifically was one of the outplayers had released the clips, and just the reload sound to me specifically sounded awesome.
Oh,
It does
yes.
sound quite COD-like, but I thought it sounded a lot more kind of menacing than the
Yes,
Widows
definitely.
did beforehand.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
today in ranked, a lot of Hog players. I got a lot of Hog players, so I'm quite excited that, potentially Hog's coming out. I don't have to worry about Hog taking my games hostage anymore.
yes, of course. I think it will be good. Another comment I got from a really high elo player was, I think the fact that 5v5 is the change of that will be really, really nice. Having more impact on frags and having the ability to maybe carry games harder than we currently see in 6v6, where you're shut down constantly by an off tank and is very frustrating. But the only thing I'm upset about with Overwatch 2, I think, for many players, is the support lineup. They're not getting really any changes at all. But hopefully the devs will listen to that, and hopefully they'll do some reworks maybe, or some big changes so that we can maybe have a little bit of variety in the support lineup.
Yeah, I know. The devs were saying specifically that, they want Overwatch to be a live game. I think that was the word they used. They want it to be alive. And I think that comes with, hopefully weekly changes. That would be kind of the dream, I suppose. And
Yes.
monthly, you can try and swap up the meta like we saw years ago now. I think that would be
Mm.
kind of back to the heyday of Overwatch.
Yes, of course, of course. But I mean, is there anything in specific you're excited for in Overwatch 2? Anything that stands out to you?
I'm quite excited to see how the game develops. To be honest with you, I was really looking forward to obviously as a support player, I was looking forward to seeing how the support lineups evolve and as you said, maybe getting more heroes. But it looks like at the moment we're going to be going into kind of the Moira Lucio kind of 6-man
Yes,
style where it's just
yes,
super quick. And
yes,
am I excited for that? Almost definitely. Lucio getting to be,
yes.
as a
I,
Reddit Lucio
I
going
think
for those
everyone
frags.
misses playing Lucio. The moment that 6-man is called, the moment those rush comps are called, I am super excited because I am also a Lucio player, and it's great. And then at the next minute, I'm told that I have to play Mercy, and
Yeah,
it's
get on
a little bit
Mercy.
more disappointing.
You see Guardians, you're like, yes, I can show off my rollout, and then all of a sudden they're like,
Yes,
right, we're going out on Arab, or we're going
yes,
out on a
yes,
Farrakhan. Good luck.
definitely, definitely.
Damn. Right, well, I think we're going to go into a little 5-minute break just while we sort out some custom game issues. But when we're back, I think we can get started.
Of course. Well, thank you for everyone that's here, and we'll see you in a couple of moments. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for the time it's taking us to load into the game. Just some lobby issues as usual. We've just put out a poll. Who do you think's going to win, Jazz or Bagär? What are your thoughts, Animated?
I'm gonna be honest. I think I kind of have to say Jazz, given my relationship with them, and it seems like the poll agrees with me that
Okay.
60% of people, kind of more now, think that Jazz will win this game, and that does
Feels
bring
like
a
we've
smile to my
hyped them
face.
up. Zupo's hyped them up,
Yes, and not as risky as when Ruli came in here and predicted a 3-0, but Zupo came right back with what's your ranked queue. So.
And what do you think the scoreline's going to be? Or do you have to say?
I'm gonna go.
3-0?
I'm gonna go. I think it'll be a close one. I do think it'll be very close. I'm gonna go 3-2 to Jazz.
Okay, no problem. I mean, I'm gonna go. I'll say Bagär just to be different. But also Bagár's also playing meta, so I will go for a 3-2 for Bagár's side, and then we can argue and complain later on when I'm wrong or you're wrong. Okay?
Well, one of us will be right about who's won, so that is a good thing.
Exactly. Definitely. Yeah. Fantastic.
I think we may be almost ready to start, and that would be obviously going to Busan, where, like we talked about, seeing the Bull versus probably not Bull, and I think we'll set the scene for this game.
Yes, be very interesting to see some Mei and Symmetra gameplay at this high level.
Yeah, it's also worth talking about the fact that Zupo is a big fan of his Torb, so I think we can expect to see, if they do come out on a Bull comp, then I'm expecting to see some Bull with some Torb. So definitely, a ranked player's worst nightmare.
Yes, definitely. Fantastic.
I think this first map should probably set the scene for what I expect the rest of the match to go down like, if I'm being totally honest. Whoever can show what comp is better first, is Bull better or is anything but Bull better, I think we'll probably go to win the match.
Yes, exactly. I think that's how I see it. My lack of knowledge is on these teams makes it difficult to understand who's going to win. But as you say, like, the first map is a very good indication of who may win, especially if it's a roll one way or the other. And from there we can sort of get a feeling for which composition is going to win and maybe who will take the trophy away.
Yeah, definitely. But it is also worth pointing out that we have seen a few counter sweeps, reverse sweeps in the tournament.
Yes,
so also we could see one team go up 2-0 and get reverse swept. It is definitely possible.
Absolutely. It's always a situation that you can find yourselves in, especially if you're very confident after you get those first two games, and then your ignorance is your weakness, and it ends up biting you in the back. And yes, that's always a tough one, especially mentally. If you lose those next two games, that final game can be a tough one to try and play and win.
Yeah, well, it looks like we may be starting our first map pretty much
so.
now.
I'm too excited. I want to see the gameplay.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic.
And our poll has finished, and Jazz are the leaders, but not by much. I think the amount of people who believed in Jazz has the percentage gap has decreased. It's almost looking like a 50-50.
Cast
almost.
the curse.
Cast the curse. I think unfortunately, we may have the cast curse, but it could go either way. 100%, it could go either way.
Yes.
Both teams have readied up, and I think we're going in.
Here we go. Fantastic. Be interesting to see what the first map of these three maps is going to be. As it
Downtown.
It's going to be Downtown. Fantastic. I love this map.
Yeah, good map. I'm expecting to see a Bull v Bull or 6-man v Bull, some kind of Bull comp. First fight always happens around that mega, the other side of point. And it's really just if one Bull team, if we're seeing that Bull mirror, can get that control and can set their support somewhere safe, then it's a very difficult hold to break.
Yes, definitely. I saw that in the last game I watched. And at the moment, I'm hoping that we aren't seeing any meme pics right now because it's very difficult explaining someone's comp and then they swap last moment.
Yeah,
But
if
as
I'm
you
honest,
said,
this is what I expected. Yeah, this is what I called going into it.
fantastic. Yes, as you say, we've got the Symmetra coming out on one side and we've got the standard sort of 6-man comp. Oh,
Yes.
the
It's
6-man
the
comp coming
ball
out.
be the 6-man. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly what I'd expected going into it.
Yes.
And it is just, this 6-man's going to try and go really fast. Sometimes they'll even go past that mega just to try and sit on the Bullcon's backline.
And the ball late's going to get hacked straight away, and that's going to be a key target to focus down now. But no pick is going to come through right as we say so. Pressure is taken on by the side of Jazz here. And we're not going to see we're going to see the passiveness coming out from the side of Bagär here. Again, controlling the map, and we see Engage coming in from Shawan here. But no picks again, still no picks coming out. And now we're going to see the rotation to point coming out from the side of Jazz here, holding it on, and the cap's going to be coming in here, but the ball pick is going to go coming from a hack, and the ball is going to get dropped down by Hasn't. Mordex, that's one down, and it's going to be a 6v5, and the cap is going to come through from the side of Jazz here.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I wasn't entirely convinced that Jazz were going to win that first. Oh, and Zupo's been picked early. That's a really bad sign for this 6-man comp, which relies so heavily on that big stack, and it's an opening for the Bull comp.
Yes, and we're going to see again, now all we're going to see are Coalescence coming out from the side of Jazz here, but they just have to play nice and passive here. The ball, they have got that point, hold, and locked down, and they don't even have to worry about anything now, and that's going to be a stick onto a 1 here. Trades coming back from the post bombs. A trans is going to come out from the side of Baikiro, and that is going to be the ball and the pressure shifting onto the Bagär's favor here.
Yeah, and that's the issue with these fights going on for so long against these 6-man comp, that the bull comp can rotate that ult so quickly, and you're left in this situation where you only have Cole coming online, your beat is not online yet, and you're facing 6 ultimates, and it's just you cannot win that fight.
Absolutely, and now going into this fight, beat now is up, but as you say, we've got the EMP for the counter, and it's going to be a tough one for the side of Jazz to break.
Just looks too strong for the size of Bagär, and what can a 6-man comp do against this?
Exactly, and as you say, they've got really nice, strong setup, defensive setup coming on from the side of Bagär here, and it's going to be a tough one to break here.
Yeah, 100%.
And
EMP has come early.
And the counter EMP is going to come out from the side of Bagär here, and that's going to be 2 picks coming from the side of Bagär, and it looks like the fight is going to be going, and that's going to be more percentage onto the point, less fights for the side of Jazz to be able to fight and compete for the point.
Yeah, and in terms of ult economy, Jazz did do well in that fight. They did manage to get 2 outs for the price of 1, but it was a really, really nice catch from Milky Way there. It is a really good strategy as a Sombra to try and get that EMP off second, but if it's caught by the brig, you just can't get through that rally. And it is a lovely fight win from Bagär.
We are going to see an engaged beat coming out from the side of Jazz here. Hack onto the Sombra there, but Mordex is going to be playing safely inside of his mines. And there we go, Milky Way is going to get the beautiful kill onto Holly there. And now we're going to see the rotation onto point here. Trans coming out. Loads of ults on the point. We've got the Diva Bomb here. More Coalescence coming out now. And pressure coming out from the side of Jazz here. But they need to get a kill early. Otherwise, you're going to have more rotations coming out. EMP nearly coming up from the side of Bagär here. Mordex getting a kill onto the monkey on the enemy team. And again, the fight favoring the Bull comp. The ult's coming up again, and it's just going to be a really, really tough fight again for the side of Jazz.
It's an early EMP as well.
Yes, Mordex is going to get kill, and Kira is going to get the kill onto Holly, and now we're going to see Staggers coming in, and they've got to touch point if they want to, and that's going to be Holly touching point, but that's not going to be enough. We're going to see the side of Jazz breaking apart here. Can they sustain and get a kill here, or is it just GG's? Monkey going down, Stinners is going to get the kill onto Act, and now it's a really tough situation to see the side of Jazz in, and as you say, the Bull comp just being dominant, just being able to secure this first map for free.
Yeah, I just think it's worth pointing out how well that Bagär have cycled their defensive ultimates there. Just incredible from that backline. I don't think there was a single fight there where either Rally wasn't up or Trans wasn't up. The 6-man, to be honest with you, did not stand a chance. There is just no way to break through that backline if they're cycling ults that well.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, it's just phenomenally, really well played by Bagär there. Just as you said before, it's such a nice defensive setup, and as long as you are cycling the results effectively, it's just really, really tough for them. And yeah, as we move into this map too, it'll be interesting to see if the map favors towards the side of Jazz here.
Yeah, that first fight was just a really good example of the strength of this bull comp. That, you know, they can give up that space and they can afford to do that because they can charge their ultimate so quickly and they can just run over that 6-man with the ult advantage they get. They charge EMP faster. They manage to charge Rally almost as quickly. Rally and Trans is almost as quickly as they charge Cole, and just really, really well played from Bagär overall.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenally played. And we're now going to be moving into Sanctuary. As you said, generally, we like to see a Sigma comp coming out here, something to contest a point, and you kind of play around point. So it'll be interesting to see. Torb is going to come out from Zuppo, as you said, and I'm super excited. It's always great to see a Torb coming out into play.
Yeah, this is a hard matchup, I must say, for Jazz. It is very difficult to go through that Sig with a Torb. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. They need to get that Torb set up and find some kind of bunker in order to kind of get a foothold in this map.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just got to play slow and just not let that Sig set up.
And that's going to be a beautiful opening pick from Kidjo here onto Holly. And now we're going to see the pressure coming out from the side of Bagär. Kills going down. Villy's going to fire an axe. And now Johnny's going to die to Mordex. And this is just a straight out clean fight from the side of Bagär. Just showing pure dominance from this Bull Sigma comp.
Yeah, Tracer gets caught early and, you know,
just
not really much to do there from Jazz. I think it's an interesting choice running on the D.Va with the Torbjorn. It seems like there's almost a clash of tempo there that, you know, the Torb wants to play slow and set up, and the D.Va, you know, can do that, but also excels at going fast. And it's now going to be, how does this Bull Tracer contest, you know, their Bull Tracer with the support of the D.Va, I suppose.
Absolutely, and Mordex is again going to find an opening pick onto Zuppo here. And again, you're saying, as you say that, it's just so difficult for them to break this defense. And Ultimate's coming up from the side of this Bull comp, and it's just a really tough one. And we're going to see Rhubarb getting a stick here. No, we're going to just see the disengage coming out from the side of Jazz here. Maybe a rotation towards that right side, towards the shrine and the bongo drum. But it's tough, and we're going to see the rotations coming out from the other side. And Mordex, again, finding another opening pick onto Zuppo here. Maybe caught out on rotation there. Kidjo going to find a kill onto Holly, and now a 6v4. Very, very tough situation for the side of Bagär to be in. And again, go back to those respawns, set up again, and see what they can do again if they can find anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you're having a look at this ult econ, it just looks horrendous for Jazz, and it seems that, you know, the experience of Bagär's coming through. They're probably not used to playing against this kind of comp on this map, and they're just not letting that Torb set up, and they're showing really, really well how to play against things that you haven't seen before. And it does force the swap onto the mirror match.
Yes, absolutely, and difficult, as you say, the ult advantage favouring the side of Bagär here, and the really good map control that we have from the side of Bagär, and we'll see what happens as the engage comes in with the flux, and Trans is going to be used as a counter, but now we have the ultimate still coming up on the side of Bagär here. Ball engage coming in again. Great knockback from here, and Holly's going to find the opening kick, but Wilson's going to find the trade onto Johnny here. Soldier's going to be caught out of position, and again, we're going to just see the pressure and the momentum falling on the side of Bagär here. Point's going to be touched, and the defensive rally coming up from Melkaway here. Just running down the Sigma here on point. And it's just, they don't stand a chance against the ult economy that Bagär have built up over these last few fights.
Yeah, it's one of these fights where, you know, it doesn't matter how well you counter each of those ults, they can just keep pressing Q, and you just do not have enough Qs to match it. And that was a great example there, you know, Trans forces the rally, Mines forces, you know, Opposed to try and trade the back line, and, you know, Bagär just came out on top because they had more ultimates. That's the danger of swapping to a mirror match so late in the game, that your counterparts are always going to be further ahead in ult econ.
Yes, absolutely. Just very difficult situation put in by Jazz. And again, it's as soon as you play very good Overwatch with these really strong meta comps, it's just very difficult for these niche comps with the Torb. If you, especially as you said,
wow. But they're just, I was having a look at the 70% kill participation. It's a bit.
It's absolutely phenomenally played by the side of Bagär, and as we say, as we step out into the first map, create huge momentum for that side, and that's going to really push up their motivation. But I'm sure Jazz, knowing that map probably doesn't favour the compositions, the May, the Sim, the Torb that they want to play, not the best brawl maps, and you can really abuse the side of that comp for the side of Bagär. And it'll be interesting to see as we move into this next map what we see from the side of Jazz, and if they choose a map that favors them.
Yeah, well, I think I've seen that they've picked Rialto, and that does make some sense to me. They're going to try and run out on this monkey bubble, I imagine, and just sit there monkey on the backline, build this charge, and they'll play for the counter dive, get their Zardmax charge, and force a brawl. And, you know, it makes sense to me, but equally, watching how well Bagár dealt with engagers on their Zen and their Brig last fight, I am, and I'm sorry to say this, expecting to see the same of what we saw last map. But, you know, we will see.
We
Yes,
never
we
know
will
what can
see.
happen.
I think as Jazz going into Busan, they were expecting that if they win that first map, they're always going to lose Sanctuary if they are not as confident on the ball, and then it was just up to Mecha Base. But unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way first map, and you know, you must be thinking as Jazz, what do we change? How do we go differently? How do we adapt to the way they're playing? And as Bagár, how do we keep playing the way that we're playing? How can we,
exactly, as you saw the coach saying before, or Vili saying before, just we're running it down. We're playing what we're not running it down, but we're playing the comps we usually play, the ones we're familiar with. It's working. Why do we need to change it? And they demonstrated that so well in that map, so well.
Yeah, they really did. It was a great example of, you know, play the way we play and make the enemy adapt to us, and we will come out on top.
Absolutely, it's just very phenomenally well played, and it's just great to always see this high level gameplay. And as you say, the rotation of the ultimate defensive ultimates being so spot on, and not allowing Jazz to get the opening that they probably need onto that ball comp.
Yeah, and I mean, it was obviously worth pointing out that second map, the ball managed to get the opening pick 9 times out of 10, and just, you know, never allowing that Torb to get set up is so valuable, because as soon as that turret gets up and starts denying that ball map space, then that ball seems to become useless, and you can start forcing this brawl with Jazz, and, you know, maybe they come out on top with the Torb, but that Torb didn't work. I don't even think he got a chance to use that Molten Core, and, you know, they took a risk and it didn't pay off.
Absolutely, and they got punished for that, and now we're looking at 1-0 in the series. And as we move into Rialto, as you say, it'll be interesting to see moving into that double bubble and seeing another really nice strong meta comp, and seeing if Jazz can bring this back to a 1-on-1, or as you say, maybe just a really big stomping and roll by Bagár.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, you know, Rialto's, especially that first and that second point, is just a question of how are you as a comp gonna displace the supports off that high ground, because, you know, second point is known for how just controlling that high ground can be, that you can't even cross bridge from your spawn without taking poke damage. And, you know, first point, you have that high ground facing attacker's spawn, and then you have that second high ground above the cap point, and it's so difficult to displace any support that kind of gets set there. They just, you know, they bunker down and you can never really get them out.
Ready for battle.
So we're going to see the side of Bagár on defense here, and as you say, the sort of composition, Bull, Sigma again, sort of the standard composition we see, and it will be interesting to see what happens here, and as they set up on this high ground, and as you say, if they can displace and look for a play from the side of Jazz.
Yeah, and really what you're looking to do here is, as a Monkey Bubble comp, is trying to look to punish that ball engage, or look to punish any kind of engages on your backline. And then as soon as you can do that, you're trying to play to, you know, force that brawl, get your monkey onto high charge, and you're playing to force that brawl on the Sigma and use that 100 charge Zarya.
Absolutely. So we're going to see as you say, the double shield, double bubble coming out from the side of Jazz here, and it will be interesting to see how they set up and look to punish this composition.
Yeah, I think we can expect to see kind of an early fight take place here on first corner, with that Bull Tracer trying to stop that rotation up onto the high ground.
And nearly a boop off by Axe here onto that ball there, but the sleep is going to come through instead. And now Stennis is going to find the opening pick on Zuppo, but Axe is going to get the trade back onto Mordex with that knockoff.
Yeah, I don't think you can understate how important that ball kill is, because it completely denies that ball comp from having any sort of kind of rotational pressure watching those angles.
Absolutely beautiful sleep coming out from there. Now we see the side of Jazz having that high ground, and this is a really beautiful position to be put in.
Yeah, and now, you know, the question becomes, how do we move this cart past this corner?
Beautiful knock into there, but Zoom is just gonna get away on a sliver of health here. And again, we're now gonna see how Mordex can continue to break up this comp. Stennis is gonna get the kill onto the turret there. And the Wizard Engage is going to come out from Zroom here, looking to find that first opening kill onto Pijo, but great peel coming out from the side of Bagár into their backline.
Yeah, it's really another really great peel from Bagár, managing to keep their Zen alive through the face of a Monkey Engage, but Nano is coming up for Jazz, and we've got to be, you know, they've got to be pretty nervous for that Nano Monkey.
Absolutely, Torb turret going down again onto Zuppo. Engage
and
coming
Nano
onto
Torb.
The Torb coming out onto the Nano, and it looks like they're going to be backing off, giving them the space, but they can obviously recontest that card in a few seconds. Room going for the engage, looking to see for some pressure here. The Sombra EMP coming out and the counter of the Primal coming out here. Can we get the boop? And we're going to see Zoom get one, but it doesn't even matter. The side of Bagär getting kills onto the Brig and the Trazaria here. Stick is going to come out from Holly though, and it's going to be very even this fight. Can we see the finishing off the balls? But we're going to see the Brig with the rally here, and that's going to be enough to keep the side of Bagär coming up. Really good rotations of the ults, defensive ults coming out from the side of Bagär here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great stake by Holly to deny that rally from finding as much value as it's supposed to. It's obviously there to try and keep that Zen alive for as long as possible, but this stick completely denies that. But yeah, the rally still hard carries that fight. I think it was an interesting choice of Nano to Nano the Torb. You've got to be kind of questioning that, you know, Bagär didn't have their defensive ultimates up and Nano Monkey could have sealed the fight. And yet they decided to get that Nano Torb, whether it was a misclick or what. Seems like a poor decision.
Absolutely, and they get punished for that. We're going to see the defensive still coming out from the side of Bagär, and we're going to see the engage coming in again. That turret going down, getting no value, and Mordex is going to find that opening kill again onto that Torb. Beautiful value coming out from Mordex here.
Yeah, just really well played. Going for that early mines, denying that rally value, not allowing the engage to happen, which is really what that rally wants to do. The Nano Monkey has come out, and they have found the Brig, however, and the Zen looks like he's probably next.
We're looking for an engage here. Primal coming out, but he's going to be hacked. Coming out from Stennis here. Can the Monkey find anything with the Primal? No, but Holly is going to find one onto the back line. And this may be the opening pick they need to seal the first point. Maybe a late re-engage, and we are going to see the engage coming back out from the side of Bagär, not letting this point go, but it doesn't matter. Sumi's going to find one of the Villies holding that shield down, and Mortis is going to try to find a trade here. Pulse is going to be missed by Holly, but it doesn't matter. Holly Super Kijo is going to walk into it anyways. And we're looking for Typhon now, and the more the fight goes on, the more it favors the Bull Sigma. Stennis is going to find one of the Zennis, and the Zubu is going to trade that back. But it doesn't matter because Milky Way's got to rally up again, and that's going to keep everyone healthy on point. The armor is going to be absolutely huge value. Milky Way's going to trade back one again, and again, we're going to see the side of Bagär holding onto this point for the next few seconds.
Yeah, and the spawns just aren't there for Bagär. Aren't there for Jazz, and Jazz just cannot get back in time to contest the speed at which Bagär are getting back and the speed at which they bring up their ultimates. And obviously, Trans is coming up.
Doesn't matter, we're going to see Zupo get a kill, which is going to be very, very huge, and Hazard's going to find one onto Rhubarb. This may be what they need, but the Trans is going to come out from the defensive side of Bagär. Can they find the kill onto the Ryan there? Rally's going to come up from Axe, which is going to be absolutely huge, and the Fire is going to deny the space on Cart. Zoom's going to find one onto Mordex, and this may be the point. Finally going to the side of Jazz. Holly getting absolutely 2 frags. Swoom sealing the deal, and that is going to be first point just about taken from the side of Jazz.
Wow, that is an incredibly close fight. I think we saw that cap happen, and I thought it would have happened sooner as a result of these double support ultimates coming out on that last fight where we saw the Nano Torb, and then they managed to cycle Nano faster than Bagär could cycle their Trans and their rally, and they got a Nano Monkey off and managed to take out the Brig and then stick the Zen. But Bagär held on really, really well, managing to get out trades of their own, and you're making these really, really scrappy fights where, you know, you got to think it favors Bagär, but luckily, I suppose, or through skill, Jazz managed to take that fight.
A beautiful nade coming out from Johnny there, and Holly is going to get the kill. We're going to see the counter EMP, but is it going to stop the momentum? Hazard's going to get a kill, and that's going to be no supports on the side of Bagär here. And we're going to see second point maybe being rolled forward there. Cart's coming up close to the thing. They need to be stacking people on Cart and pushing that up. Space being taken on from Holly, and Holly's going to get another kill onto Stennis, and that's going to be the stagger that they need, maybe to seal the deal for second point.
That is a classic engage right there. Even though the EMP comes out continuing with that tempo, not allowing the EMP to find the value it was made for. Just, you know, EMP is so good at getting rid of sets, and as a dive team like Jazz are playing now, that, you know, if you go faster than that set, the EMP's not going to be a threat, and they showed that perfectly, getting kills on the supports and managing to seal that second point with only one fight.
Absolutely, but it looks like we are going to see the side of Bagär beginning to stabilize now, with Milky Way getting a beautiful kill onto Holly there. They don't want to be sagging over and giving this tempo back towards the side of Jazz here, though, and play nice and defensively. We've got both support ults coming up again for the side of Bagär here.
Yeah, and you've got to think, you know, ult econ is looking fairly even. That Nano Monkey's probably going to find a lot of value. Oh, and it's a lovely pick from Zupo, managing to take the 1v1 with the D.Va. And again, that's forced a lot of ultimates from the side of Bagär.
And we're going to see the both support ults coming out from the side of Bagär. As you mentioned that, and Villies is going to find one onto the Johnny now, and it does look like we might be seeing the side favored towards the side of Bagär here. But Stennis is going to get picked off by Axu now, and now we're going to see Zupo fighting on carts, trying to live his life, and Mordex is going to get another kill onto Zupo here. And now the cart's still pushing on. Zoom's going to get a kill onto Milky Way, and it does look like the cart is not being stopped. The momentum is still being favoring Jazz here.
Yeah, the amount of times that Bagär is stacking double support ultimates is really surprising to me. Seems kind of completely different from what I saw on Busan. It seems that, you know, maybe they're panicking at the tempo of Jazz.
Absolutely, and we're going to see so many ults coming out from there. Axu's going to use the rally, and we're going to see mines on Car. Can we see a kill onto the D.Va bomb mech here? And that's going to be D.Va. Hazen going to be demeched here, and Ribard's looking to focus down the Winston here. Can they find another kill, or are they going to let the soft reset coming out? Yes, Kirajo is going to get a kill onto Holly now. Absolutely beautifully played, and Mordex is going to find a kill onto Zroom, and now we're going to see the momentum shift back towards Bagár's favor, and they're going to hold on for another fight.
Yeah, you got to think, you know, holding on for their teeth here. Last fight territory, ult econ is looking pretty even on both sides. You do see the Brawl swap come out from Jazz, and you're expecting them to just try and go super aggressive onto the back line, but you are running into Trans, you are running into Rally, and I really don't see a way that Jazz are going to win this if they do play it well.
Yes, it's very tough to be able to push onto anyone when the people you want to push onto literally can survive. Villies is going to get a beautiful bomb onto Arna and Holly, and that Stennis is going to get another kill onto Zipper, and we just see the kills rolling in Bagár's favor, and not even the Brig Rally even being used here from the side of Bagär. 24 seconds left, maybe time for contest, but that rally that's going to be on the side of Milky Way is going to make it very tough for the side of Jazz.
Yeah, if they can get a second fight in, however, that Nano Ryan could be massive. Close to that D.Va bomb. It looks like it is just within their reach if they can get a pick, or if they can get that touch, but, you know, Zupo going down early, Zroom going down. Yeah, this fight looks like it's over.
This is the final kills coming out from the side of Bagär here, clearing up and holding on to that last point on the Rialto. And now, can they show their strength as they come into this attack side?
Yeah, it was a lovely first attack by Jazz. They had that difficulties going into that second point. I think they wasted their first nano on that tour, but then we saw second point a really lovely engage by them that Bagär just couldn't stand through. And then we had that first fight on third point where we saw both support ultimates used at the same time from Bagär, and it looks like they were maybe panicking at the speed at which Jazz were going. And I think Jazz have found a way to turn this game. Potentially that Bagär aren't too confident at dealing with those high tempo comps, but equally Bagär are so strong at using those ults effectively and managing to get those rotations in fast that if they can stop those silly mistakes from happening and managing to clean up their ult rotation, they should be able to keep their lead in this game.
Absolutely, it's as you say, very nice attack coming out from the side of Jazz here, nearly getting full held, but as you say, rotations of the nano and the defensive ults coming up quicker and allowing them to just take that first point, and that momentum that they taken from first point, that tempo that they had pushing through that EMP that they even used to try and counter that tempo, and it not having any value, allowing them to get a really nice push onto that third point. Be interesting to see what now on the attacking side, how they can control this momentum on this attacking side, and if they can play this slower side and favour Bagár's composition, or we're going to see a really fast engage coming out from the side of Jazz.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. It seemed to me that Bagár were more confident on that Echo pick. It looked like perhaps the Echo was dealing with a Torb better than the Sombra was, which kind of does make sense given that the Torb is pretty strong at dealing with that Sombra.
Absolutely. We're just looking at a poke coming out from both sides here, allowing Johnny to start to farm that nano, already at 27%. But we're going to see maybe a setup coming out from the side of Bagár here. Super is going to find a beautiful opening pick onto Rhubarb, and we're going to see the backline being able to stay through that damage on that poke, and we are going to see that really good peel coming out from the defending side of Jazz here.
Yeah, this Tracer is going to come back very quickly. You can expect another engage almost right away as soon as that Tracer comes back, not allowing Jazz any time to breathe or to get there to get a grip of themselves, or to try and stabilize their backline.
Absolutely, and we're going to see a duel coming out here, but nothing is going to come either way. And we are going to see Villies get that opening pick onto Johnny here, and a pressure coming out from Zroom. They need to get these kills early with the lack of the main support. Mordex is just finding kill after kill after kill. Stennis is going to find the kill onto Zroom, and Holly's going to go down as well. And that's going to be the fight sealed in the favour of Bagär.
That is a lovely rotation from Bagär, completely ignoring that first high ground, deciding to rotate their core all the way around to that second high ground and somewhat boxing in Jazz and not allowing them to have the space they want, and they managed to get a pick off the back of it. It's a really, really well called rotation.
Looks like we're going to see the recontest here, and Holly's going to get a beautiful kill onto Kidjo here, and that might be the opening. They need to get this retake onto this point here. Pressure coming out from the side of Holly. No pressure coming out, and they're going to look to dive onto Milky Way here, and the health's going down, but can Milky Way stay away alive? No, Holly's going to find another pick onto this opening fight, but Mortis is going to find the trade onto Zupo. Holly looking to pressure the backline again. Big stick coming out, but that's not going to get any value at all. Where Villies and Zenith are going to be getting on the backline now and destroying Johnny again, getting killed and knocked down. Mortis looking for a beautiful slam onto the Winston here. Primal going to come out from the side of Swarm. Rally going to come out from the side of Axu, and that might just be enough to be able to hold this point for the time being.
Yeah, they are holding on by the skin of their teeth. It is some lovely defensive play, but we have seen Johnny swap to the Lucio. That stall touch to try and get back and support the team. Ults are coming up, mines are coming up, rallies coming up. It does look like it's going to be a difficult hold.
Diva Bomb coming out from Villies. Is this going to find anyone though? Yes it is, and the mine's going to find someone as well, and that's going to be two opening frags. The backline down from the side of Jazz here, but hasn't sort of returned one, but it doesn't matter because the tempo is going to be pushed into the favour of Bagär here, looking to find some kills, and that's going to be first point going to the side of Bagär.
Yeah, we saw some lovely kills come out from Holly to start, killing both of the supports, but apparently it seems that opening just wasn't enough, and Jazz can't pick up on that opening. They got to be able to capitalize on having just a 6v4 almost, and didn't manage to do it. Bagär take the point.
Absolutely, Mordex looking to scout the comp over the wall there, but as you move into this next fight, many ultimates going to be up from both sides.
Yeah,
or from the side.
Expect to see maybe a rally engage, maybe a rally to sustain, but we only have pulse from the side of Jazz, so it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with it.
And that's going to get no value from the side of that pulse, but Kidjo's going to find the opening pack, and this may be the momentum that Bagär are going to use to get onto that third point here. Villas is going to get a beautiful eat onto Holly there. And we're going to see the side of Jazz looking to try and play a little bit safer with one down, but Holly is going to be back in the fight very, very quickly. He's trying to go down again. Stennis is going to get an opening pick onto Zupo, and that's going to be two picks on from Stennis here, and that might just be the fight again, sealed in the side of Bagär. Beautiful kills coming out from the side.
Yeah. Seems that Zupo's gone to his comfort pick, but I think the pulse accidentally forced Axu off the high ground, and they managed to get a pick on that break to open it up, leaving Johnny completely defenseless and allowing him to get picked really, really early.
Absolutely. We're going to see the copy coming in from Stennis onto the Winston here. That's going to deny any value that Liana can have in this fight. Mortis is going to find one, Stennis is going to find another, and now we're seeing again just beautiful value coming out from the ultimate side of Bagär here. And it's just really, really tough for the side of Jazz to stop this momentum and this ultimate economy advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they just can't find a way to keep Johnny alive long enough for him to find his value. He's building these nanos fast, but he's not really living to see out the fight. It's a lovely headshot from Zupo. Wow, yes, that's incredible headshot. But yeah, again, you just need to see this care onto Johnny, keeping him alive longer, and they may have a way into this fight, but at the moment it looks like the momentum from Bagär may be too strong for them to deal with.
The bomb combo coming out from here, and Zoom's going to find one, and Zoom's going to find two, and that's absolutely beautiful. Primal coming up from the side of Zoom here, looking to try and find Echo as well. Can he find it? Not quite, but that's enough to win and stop this momentum from the side of Bagär.
Yeah, two ults coming out from the side of Jazz, though. Bagär are building up to, this rally and this pulse, so maybe they can find a way in, but for the time being, it looks like Jazz may have enough to survive these next few fights.
Absolutely. This is a Tracer Jewel coming out from the right side here, and they're going to see the rally, as you mentioned, coming out from Axe here. And this is going to have to halt the progress that Bagär want to do right now, unless they can get an opening pick here. Ollie being pressured by Villy here, back offing. And maybe rotations coming out from the side of Bagär here, maybe getting those supports into a better position, getting them set up so they can look for a really good engage.
Yeah, it looks like Axu's rally timing might just be slightly off, allowing Bagär to kite that rally and not finding the value, and Zoom goes down really early and result in not having that support ultimate. They have managed to trade out the stick onto the ball, and fight's even.
Absolutely, and Holly looking to find value here. Getting in by Diva DM, and Stennis is going to find a kill onto May here, but can Stennis get out of cover just in time? Yes, he can, and we're going to see a 5v4 in favour of Stennis on the side of Bagär here. And again, you're seeing Johnny and the backline go down, and now this momentum is still shifting, and we see so many ults coming up from the side of Bagär.
Yes, this looks like it may be a lost cause for Jazz unless they can find some way to sustain through 5 ultimates, but not managing to be clinical enough with their ults when they have the chance.
Trans is going to come in return on the Mei ult here, and we're going to see a copy onto the Mei from Stennis here, maybe looking to freeze one of the tanks, and that is absolutely huge value, as I was talking about that. Rabat gets a kill, and Mordex is going to find 2 again, the absolute MVP coming up from Mordex's engages here. Can we see a counter return? No, the bomb is going to zone the area, and that's going to be Hallen getting demeched here. D.Va going down, and now the momentum is looking to see if we can actually just shut down and finish this map. Rabat's going to get a kill onto Johnny here, and I think that just shows that the deal is going to be sealed, and we might be seeing the side of Bagär take the second map now.
Yeah. Jazz had the chance to hold off for longer there. They had the ult econ, they were up on ults, and they just didn't manage to find a way to use those ults effectively. Pulse managing to only find value in that they needed to get the Pulse kill to trade out to make it an even fight. Rally found no value as they didn't manage to get an engage off the back of it. And Bagär, it's another example of them just being more clinical with their ult usage.
Absolutely, just really good engages coming out from Mordex here every single time, looking to maybe get an opening pick most of the fights. And really shutting down these off picks that Zupo wants to play. We saw again, like on first point, him getting that opening frag pretty much every single time. Milky Way with that 74% kill participation, just as you mentioned, really, really good, just good supports in that backline. Getting those ultimates up really, really quickly, and just Jazz struggling to compete with the momentum that Bagär showed in that map.
Yeah, it's really well played from the Bagär backline. You saw the 74% kill participation. Was it something like 5,000 trans healing? Just really, really well played. They have those ults up and they had them in time. I think the one exception we saw was I talked about on Jazz's first attack where the monkey managed to find value with the nano monkey. But it just seems that Bagär have the answer to whatever Jazz are trying, and you know they've taken Jazz have picked King's Row to force what you can expect to see the Brawl, but I'm expecting Bagär to come out on a Bull, potentially maybe a Pharah comp, and just looking to
absolutely
not take that mirror match and just to play what they're used to.
Yes, absolutely. It's just a tough situation, and it just like every single fight, Bagär just knew and that they needed to jump onto Johnny, and shutting down Johnny in pretty much every single fight, and Jazz just having no return answer from that. And as we move into King's Row, it will be interesting to see how Bagär are going to shut down this probably most likely Brawl comp coming out from Jazz here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, given that Bagär are obviously very experienced in the Bull comp, they've been scrimming it a lot, no doubt. I'm expecting they have played a lot of King's Row in their time. You have these teams who are very used to playing, you know, Brawl v Brawl. They see this team that are forcing these Bull comps, and they think, right, let's take them to King's Row where they can't find value. So I expect Bagär have a lot of experience on this King's Row, and I think Jazz may be in for a nasty surprise with what Bagär come out here. And can they deal with what I'm expecting to see at Bull comp?
Absolutely, it'd be very interesting to see what sort of practice Jazz have done, as we're struggling to see how they shut down the enemy comp right now, the Bull comps that they've been playing, that Bagär have been showcasing. And as we move into this map, do the side of Jazz have some sort of trick up the sleeve with this Brawl comp that they're going to be playing? Can they get onto that backline? Are they going to look for a TP play maybe, or is it just going to be straight out just trying to play Brawl into and hoping for the best?
Yeah, I mean, I'm expected to see potentially a Maycree or a Simcree, something like that, and they're going to try their best to get onto the backline of Bagär, but you can see they are running out on the Bull comp as expected, and now it's a question of, as a Brawl comp, do we try and stabilize on point, live through the spam that Bagär are going to throw away, or do we get a kill onto or do we try and rotate onto the Zen and kill him early? And it's really that kind of question that goes, all right, how do we win this fight?
Absolutely. And you've got obviously the side of Bagär rotating off that brig, deciding to play obviously the Mercy Pocket onto the Echo then, and maybe just, as you say, just looking to just abuse them if they jump onto that site. And even if they do rotate, they've got such good mobility, and they're going to be able to just shut down those rotations that the side of Jazz trying to showcase.
Yeah. Yep, without a doubt. I think they're just going to be looking to play entirely for spam. Never let the Brawl take an engage and you will be fine. Just keep pumping damage into them and they're going to have a really, really tough time. Someone's going to get picked early from the Brawl side, and it's going to be a hard one.
Absolutely, and we're going to see a lot of pressure coming onto the side of Holly here, but no pick is going to be fired from the side of Bagär here. And again, you're going to see that rotation keep going round and round, and they're trying to find where the Zen is, but they may have just lost them, and Zen's giving away position by shooting here, but it doesn't even matter. Pressure's going to continue to come out, and we're just going to see the cat and mouse game as we were talking about before. trying to catch that Zen, trying to find a kill. Restabilize coming from the top side of the side of Jazz here. And now we're going to see if they can find an engage here. And we're going to see a really big oppression coming up from here. And that's going to force Imo. And now they're going to be bunkering back into that hotel position here. Ball May is going to be low here. Mordex may find himself getting caught out here. Pin's going to come through. Mordex is going to get shut down. And that is the opening pick that we need Jazz to find. Absolutely beautiful freeze.
A crucial pick for Jazz to find. And they're now trying to look to stabilize on point, force a touch and kill the touches.
And that's going to be it. Zupo's going to find a kill onto Rubard, and Zwumi's going to get a kill onto Chukiju down. Now we're going to see first point being taken at a very good pace from the side of Jazz, playing exactly to their win condition and playing very, very well.
Yeah, that was really, really well played. It wasn't that they managed to, you know, find an opening. It was more that they just played and they waited for a mistake. That mistake comes from the ball, gets the freeze off, and they punish the mistake. It's classic Brawl. It's what you expect to see from a comp like this, and it's really, really well played. They did the rotation all the way around the map. They were having a look at all the surroundings, waited for that mistake, and punished the mistake. It is very, very well played from Jazz. And now you have these ult econs, and it's going to be a very, very hectic next fight, I can imagine.
We're gonna see the copy coming in from Stennis onto that Mayhem, looking to wall off the Brawl here, and we're gonna see the counter wall coming out, allowing the side of Jazz to stabilize, allowing them to look to charge some ultimates and maybe look for a win, another play. Bale gonna come out from Stennis here, but it doesn't matter because the copy is gonna end. Hainu gonna be looking to force out Stennis' position, and he can't quite get out in time, and that's gonna be a huge pick from coming out from Holly here.
Yeah, that's really, really well played by Jazz. They're managing to stabilize. There's another big fight. The trans comes in and it looks like Bagär may be trying to turn this one.
Stennis is going to get the kill onto Zupo, cancelling that ultimate, but Axe is going to return with a beat here. And it's unsure where the fight is going to go either way here, but Brawl is going to suffer in the long run. Mordex is finally going to kill onto Axe here. And we're going to see the Imo coming out from the side of Jazz here. Holly's going to get a kill onto Stennis, and that may be the opening that they need.
Yeah, it looks like the Brawl are just trying to stabilize here and go for another engage. It's very smart play by them. Get their resource up and just go again and keep that pressure onto the Bull comp.
Holly is going to have another high noon here, maybe looking for another opening onto Stennis here. Holly doesn't care, she's going to be pushing up here, and that's going to be a beautiful kill that Holly gets onto Rubard here, and Super's going to get a kill as well onto the backline, and it just looks like Jazz are just showing what they're good at. Just showing what they're good at.
Yeah, that's really, really well played. That entire sequence of events there is a really, really good example of how you play the Brawl against these type of comps. You go and you wait for a mistake. If they're putting in ultimates, you just wait. You manage to stabilize through their ults, you put yourself in a good position, and you go when it suits you. You find that pick, and you just keep pushing until you win the fight. It's really, really well played. They managed to stabilize through probably what was 6 ults and still managed to win the fight out.
Absolutely, and Mortis is going to try and touch point here, looking to try and not let them get second point for free. But it is going to get an opening pick onto Zuba, and this may be what they need. We're going to see the Valk coming out. Milky Way's just going to hide in cover again. But we are going to see 2 picks coming out from the side, and it is going to be favoring the side of Bagär right now. Willis is going to find one, and that's just going to be kill after kill after kill, when it does look like 0.07 meters away from that cap.
I don't think Jazz were expecting the retouch there. It's really well played by Mordex to get that touch just as the cap comes in and forcing Jazz to invest into a fight which they didn't win. And now, you know, it's a difficult position for any Brawl comp because it's very, very difficult to retake space against these Echoes and against these Sparrows because of just how dominant their spam is.
Absolutely. We're going to see the rotation onto this Hygo coming out from the side of Jazz here. Maybe looking to try and force it off some space and maybe look on to going for that Zen now. Stennis is going to try and get onto that backline here. Copying the McCree may be a mistake here, but Mordex is going to look for an engage here. And that's going to be, again, what we're talking about with Mordex in their engages. Stennis is going to get a kill onto Johnny here. And we're going to see the side of this Brawl comp just suffering on this rotation.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, that's it's a good fight for Jazz in that they managed to force a lot out, but it's very, very clinical by Bagär in that, you know, they intercept that rotation, they don't let Jazz touch their backline, and they managed to win the fight off the back of it. The minefield came out, the copy came out, and, you know, we weren't sure that copy was going to find value in the face of a D.Va, but he managed to prove us wrong, and, you know, 2 odds down, they've burnt the clock, and now it's up to Jazz to make a move.
Absolutely, and again, we're going to see the rotation coming out from the side of Jazz here, and this tracker might be absolutely huge. Imo's going to come out, and we might see the May getting caught out of position here. Woo, and loads of resources being pumped out from the side of Jazz here, and as they try and rotate the site, 600 health on that shield. Are we going to see an opening pick, or are we going to see again the side of Bagär rotating back, We are going to see the shadow coming out. Rabat's going to go down, and that might be the opening pick. Zen is on his own, and he may get run down here, but we are going to see pressure coming out from the back line. Melkway is going to get that res. Beautiful DM coming out from the side of Villies here. Mail is going to zone the site here. Mordix may look for an engage here, but that is going to be careful. Trans and support is being chucked in, and no value, no kills yet. Coming out here, Mortis is going to be frozen again on point, but Stennis is going to get that opening pick to Johnny. That's a crucial pick here. Support healing and going down to the side of this Brawl comp. Mind coming out onto the point, and now we're going to find the side of Jazz being in a really difficult position with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, I think they'd put all of their hopes into managing to just push that cart with their ultimate, hoping to C9 it in some cases where they're just, stack 6 and don't let them touch, and it is a good effort, but unfortunately Bagär are just so good at cycling those ultimates, they managed to get mines up for a second fight in a row, they got the res off, and they just didn't get punished by the ults, and it is, round over, Bagär managed to hold just before third point.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very well played by the side of Bagär. Just Mordex knowing the limits of Bull, knowing when he can touch, knowing how long he should touch for before we see the trans come in after, and just that time you're ticking that every single second you have on the side of Bagär is just favoring them so hard, and that Brawl just losing resources slowly over time, and at that point you get that opening pick from that echo spam, and that's just the crumble, that's the piece, the top of the tower just falling over, and that's just seals the deal for Bagär and how they can win this matchup.
Yeah, it's another case of people potentially not using their ults to be the cleanest, and we've seen quite an unusual matchup here. We have a counter dive comp coming out from Jazz against just a pretty standard bull comp from Bagär, and very interesting to see how Jazz play this, where they set up and how they utilize their comp to deny the Bagär from finding value. It's interesting to see the Mei here, probably not the standard pick in the counter dive comp. You expect to see a Torb, you expect to see something along those lines, but a Reaper potentially, something along those lines. Instead it's a Mei. How is she going to use her walls properly, and how is she going to find value?
Absolutely. Be very interesting to see how they do play this counter dive into this Bull D.Va, and again with just Bagär being on what they're comfortable with, and maybe showing who's best.
Yeah, I think this will be obviously it's 2-0 to Bagär, so this is do or die for Jazz. Can they prove that this counter dive comp on King's Row will work and will manage to hold them, keep their hopes alive?
Absolutely. We're going to see the rotation pressure coming out from Mordex here, maybe looking for an engagement to that backline. And from the side of Jazz, just playing in this really nice bunker position, getting ready for the ball to bounce, getting ready for this engage, and maybe looking for a kill. But Mordex looking to play mind games here, keeps rotating into different positions to try and catch out Axe and where Axe is looking.
Yeah, they're just looking to try and burn all the resources of Jazz and get them down to, no shield, no HP, none of that, and trying to win off the back of that.
We're going to see the first engage coming up from Mordex, and just loads of damage coming in, but Mordex is just about going to try and survive here. Freeze is going to come out, and now the wall, and we're going to see the first kill coming up from Zoom and Holly, and that's just going to be the first fight moving towards the favor and the save of Jazz here.
Yeah, there we see the use of the Mei, freezing the ball on engage and not allowing him to do what he did there and try and greed for a big slam and get out. But you do see that the ults are coming up very, very slowly for Bagär, but they are there, and the issue becomes how do we sustain once they get their ults?
Absolutely. Loads of ultimates are going to be slowly coming up from the side of Bagär here, and that's going to be, as you say, very scary for the side of Jazz here. Very scary. Maybe looking for a dragon here could be really huge coming through there and applying a lot of pressure. But again, just trying to force the resources, trying to force some sort of really key resource so that they engage. And Mordex is going to go in again, but we're going to see the dive this time coming up from the whole team. Zenith is going to get a kill onto Zubo, and that's going to be a huge kill coming out. Aris is going to go down here, and Zenith is just absolutely huge on this Echo here. We're going to see the D.Va Bomb copy coming out, and that's going to find two people, and Zenith is just getting every single kill here in this fight. Huge copy onto D.Va here. Great peel onto their support, the tanks that they dived in there.
Yeah, that was a brilliant engage from Bagär there. They went for that slam stickies dragon. There's really not much Jazz could have done there. It is so hard to sustain through all of that. Zupo died before even managing to use his ice block, just the speed at which he got punished. And it's very difficult for Jazz to probably find a way in here.
Mordex looking to cut off rotations with those mines there, and we're going to see trades coming back. Beautiful kill by Kidjo onto Holly there. Pressure coming up, and now we're going to see the flux coming onto the tanks here. But the counter mail, it might be absolutely huge. Trans coming out from the side of Kidjo, and now Super's going to still find that opening pick on the Mordex. Absolutely huge value coming out from the May here.
Yeah, it's a lovely anti by Johnny to manage to get that anti through Trans and allowing to find the value off the back of that ult. But, you know, one ult down and they still got to hold for 3.5 minutes.
Absolutely.
It is weird to see the May in the brawl, definitely, and, you know, trying to play it to punish the ball. And can Mordex find value against the May? He obviously can't play as risky, can't look for those slams because he will get frozen.
Absolutely. We're going to see the pressure coming out from the side of Rubard here in this choke area, just trying to contest point, maybe looking for an opening frag or an opening that they can maybe go for. And again, Zoom going down to 1 tick of health, but can he be kept up? And it does look like just about survive here through this Discord. And now we're going to see Axon hasn't going to get 2 kills, opening kills, and it does look like we're going to see the side of Jazz holding on another fight again. Transcendent Rally coming out again, and that's a really good hold from the side of Jazz here.
Yeah, I think that fight was kind of, you know, stereotypical of what we were expecting to see from Jazz. That they just want to go fast, they want to go early, and they want to get those ults off quickly. And if they can do that, and if they can keep cycling that, you know, maybe they may have a chance of winning this one. Yeah, but it was really, really well played. Go early with that Diva Bomb. Push your advantage. Don't let Bagär have a chance for a counter engage, and you can win the fight outright off the back of 1 or 2 picks. And I think that's what we're going to expect to see for the next 2 minutes.
And we're going to see Zupo getting a lot of poke damage here, but no pick's going to be fine. Johnny's going to nano out onto one of his teammates, and Stennis is going to go for that copy onto Winston. That's going to be an absolute huge kill onto Axu here. But we're going to see the count of the mail, and can we find something? Big zone by Stennis here onto the Ana, and we're just seeing Stennis, the Echo Diff, playing really, really well played here, and just kill after kill coming out from the side of Bagär here.
Yeah, I think that was Stennis there managing to kill both supports, and, you know, you had that fight from Bagär, and it goes completely against what I talked about just, you know, moments ago. Jazz wanting to go first, wanted to go early. They let Bagär go first. They let that copy come in, and Bagär are ruthless. They punish, and they punish hard. They get both supports, and they win the fight off the back of it. And now it's a difficult situation for Jazz to retake this down in econ, facing both support ultimates with nothing to say about it. Maybe Johnny here needs to find a massive anti to deny the value from Trans, but very, very difficult.
Absolutely, and Will Villies is going to find the opening kill, and Mordex is going to find a kill onto the backline, and this is going to be a Trans coming out as well, coming out from the side of Bagär here, and this is just going in their favor, and it's very scary right now. Holly needs to go huge here. Mordex finding another kill onto his room here, and this may just be the game. This may be the series. Holly is going to find a kill onto Zen here, but it doesn't even matter. The kills have already came out from the side of Bagär, and they're pushing this car round to the final corner, and it's looking like a very difficult position for the side of Jazz to be able to contest.
Yeah, only pulse here for Bagär, so they need to make something of it. The fight needs to go long for them to build their ults, but it looks like it may be one for Bagär, but you never know. Jazz need to pull something big.
Robart's gonna get killed by himself, and that's are you bad? Question mark.
I jinxed it. I said he need to find something, and he found himself.
Az's gonna get killed onto Mordex as well, and it does look like they're gonna be surviving just for another fight here. Zuba gonna get killed onto Milky Way, and it does look like they are gonna stabilize on this fight with this ult advantage. And now we're looking at 12 seconds left. And the touch has to come through.
Bagär, yeah, they have their 2 ultimates, they have that mines, they have that copy. They have to win in the next 4 seconds, and they have to show something big.
And that's gonna be an opening pick coming out from Holly onto Are You Bad, and that's gonna be really, really tough. Can the side of Jazz hold on to here? Stennis is gonna go down on the copy here. Diva Bomb coming out. Holly's gonna get a kill back onto Mordex, and that's 2 frags for the side, 3 frags for the side of Bagär, or for the side of Jazz here, and it's looking like the hold may be coming in from the side of this composition. Zupo gonna find a kill onto Zupo here.
And Jazz take the map. It is 2-1 to the side of Bagär, but that's really, really well played by Jazz. They managed to get that cycle. We saw Are You Bad kill himself with his own pulse. I said he needed to find something, and unfortunately it wasn't what he was looking for. But, you know, it's, you know, all to play for. Maybe Jazz take this momentum and they can get the second and eventually move to the third, but Stennis on that Echo is looking pretty dominant.
Absolutely, very scary. And as we said, going to this map, more of a brawl map, playing more to the advantage of Jazz saying it being such a close game and just Stennis being such a menace on that Echo. It's very scary as we see Bagár probably going into their next map pick and just picking one map that could just seal the deal for this series.
Yeah, not only do Jazz have to go against, a bull comp, but it's going to be a bull comp that can pick their own map, and that is a dangerous combination. But I think on that map, we saw two ways that both teams would win this. We saw Jazz coming out, if they go with that aggression, if they go early with their ultimates, then they look very, very strong. And the same with Bagár. If they can cycle their ultimates, and if they can get their ult usage good, or if they can do their ults well, then they look pretty unstoppable as well. And it is just, which team is going to be more clinical with their ult usage. I think we'll decide this game.
Absolutely, you're not wrong at all. It's still all to play for, and even though Jazz is going to be on the back foot here with the map against them and the comps going to be really tough, we may see a really beautiful hold again coming out from Jazz, and that 4 meters making a big difference in the end of the game.
Yeah, it is. Definitely all to play for now. Jazz have, blown this wide open. They do 100% have a shot to retake this. It all depends on the map Bagár pick and what Jazz decide to run out. I think we're going to see Zupo stick to his default, his sim, his Mei, and I'm not really expecting to see much differing from that. We did see the Torb. The Torb is finding kind of, I want to say limited value, but it seems that his Mei is doing a lot more against the bull comp than I see. Are you bad in chat? And we did. You can watch our reaction as you blow up to your own pulse.
Absolutely, really just as Are You Bad put in his document, if I die to my pulse, then please call me Are You Bad. So I'm glad I remembered that momentarily after it happened, and hopefully as we move into the next map that doesn't happen again, because as you said, finding value on yourself is probably not what you want.
Yep, we could see in chat both teams arguing about whether or not they should play 2CP, as it is, as they put it, not here or gone. So I think Bagár is sending Jazz to Volskaya. It makes sense. It's a difficult map for anything other than kind of the classic double shield or the bull comp, and I think we're going to see pretty much the same as what we saw on that King's Row attack, where we had the counter dive comp playing against the bull comp. I'm expecting to see more of that from the defense of Jazz.
Absolutely, and it's just going to be up to Bagár getting that set up, playing, trying to force those resources, looking to stack those ult and look for a really nice engage. And it's going to be really difficult for Jazz to be able to do something in Bagár to do something in return.
Yeah, I know my own experience with Jazz that they do tend to struggle with this map, but I think they've been working on it a lot, and I'm confident that they can pull something out. They have put a lot of time into perfecting their Volsk, so hopefully they can show something big.
And we're just waiting for everyone else in the lobby to just finish up, ready up, and we'll be on our way to maybe one of the last 2C maps you will see streamed on 2Easy Community.
I think potentially the last, and it does have to be Volskaya, the worst, in my opinion, the worst TCP map. I know Reflect will disagree with me, but
yes, one of my teammates in my team has also agreed that Volskaya is the worst map ever, and they would never ever play it. So yes, I'm
very thankful it's gone and never having to play it again. But we do see it one final time, one final hurrah, and we will see Jazz versus Bagár on Volskaya. Quite emotional, but here we are. And as I said, I'm expecting to see some kind of double shield against some kind of bull comp. On attack, we may see some kind of potentially a sim TP from the side of Jazz, exploiting the strength of Zupo's sim. But time will tell. Yeah, and here we are, counter dive comp against the bull comp. Exactly what we saw on King's Row. Can they make it work? And can they show that we have a disconnect from Johnny? But
seems like people are ready for Overwatch 2 with only 5 players on a team.
Yeah,
that's okay.
we need to get one of the tanks out, and we should be fine. But this may also be the last time. Yeah, this will be probably one of the last times that we're seeing double tank. We're looking at these ult combos coming in from the Bull Diva. I saw, especially, you had those slam bombs. Never going to see it again.
Absolutely.
Cycling it one final time.
Absolutely. I mean,
But-
if we believe maybe there's an echo, and the echo copies an enemy diva, and then
Yeah, then maybe we have a chance.
Maybe we still see two tanks with an echo copy, but
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
be far from few fights than we are seeing at the moment.
Yeah, and I doubt we'll see this Orisa diva comp ever again. Obviously, Orisa changing her role, not her role, but her role as a tank, pretty significantly.
It will be very interesting to see how she functions in Overwatch 2 and how the team can play around her.
Yeah, definitely her role as a tank, how it changes from being that bunker, being that kind of, as we call an anchor, that just pillar of strength. Yeah, how is that going to differ? But
Absolutely.
it will be, and game's getting underway. We've unpaused and we're ready to see what we saw on King's Row on Volskaya. How are Jazz going to prove that this counter comp is the way forward?
Absolutely, and it will be, as we do mention, interesting to see how they've adapted, if they are going to try slightly different strategy and an approach to the engaged by Bagär, or it's just rinse and repeat and hope that this time they hold for longer.
Yeah, it's a really interesting choice here from Bagär to run out on the Zarya, and I think that may be a way of trying to deal with that Mei. They're expecting this kind of hard counter comp. Oh no, they've swapped off. I was expecting to see some bubbles, but no, they're running out on the bull comp, trying to deal with the counter top.
Absolutely, and we're going to see that team get onto the high ground to position their supports onto that top high ground. Not like we're going to see any hard engages onto that backline as we see Jazz playing towards this bunker.
Yeah, and Bagär have immediately swapped to kind of spam bull comp. They're looking to go through the shield, and I must say it is pretty unconventional positioning from Jazz. Normally you see people set up on that mega and just bunker in there and not allow that kind of that map control, but they're going for these open positions. They're looking to immediately collapse on the back line or on the front line of Bagär, and it may come back to bite.
That's going to be many resources coming out from the side of Jazz here. Immortality Gold, all these resources being used, and that Orisa shield is not going to be withholding the Sigma or Hanzo spam that they are pressuring down on them.
Yeah, and it's just a very weird positioning from Jazz here, allowing them to take that spam. The windows come out, hoping to try and find an early pick, but it looks like the Jazz are just taking too much damage.
Winner not really finding any value, and that's going to be Stennis getting that opening because to Holly playing that nice slow tempo again. And as you see, resources are now being forced even more out. Stennis interesting position with the copy here. Wall is going to be a counter, but it doesn't even matter because there may be a fight happening here, but Mordix is killing everyone else on point.
Yeah, I think the issue there has got to be Jazz's positioning. It's a really odd place to set up. Why would you put yourself in the open where Bagär are very freely to spam you? We can see that in the fact that Echo built her copy so fast, that Hanzo built his copy, Hanzo built his dragon incredibly fast. Jazz are just taking way too much damage to sustain. They have to put themselves in a position where they just can't be touched. They need to, play for that. We're going to anchor point and we're not going to let you dive us. We don't want to take damage and we're just going to sit comfortably.
Absolutely, and now many ults coming up from the side of Bagär here. As you can see again, looking to set up in a position to look for a really nice engage onto this counter bunker.
I think Bagär are going to look to end this fight early with the ults they have. We saw the dragon come out. I think they're going for a pretty clinical kill.
Mail coming out from Zippo here to try and slow the pace down from the side, and we're going to see the rally as well as a defensive ball coming out from the side of Bagär here. But we have got the trans up online for Kidjo. Diva Bomb's going to be coming out, and that's going to find a huge kill on the Villies, and Stennis is going to find a trade onto Hazard here. Pressure coming out, big freeze coming out from the Mei, and that's their comp working on how it's supposed to be, shutting down that ball when she's engaging too aggressively, and that's going to be the fight and the hold coming out from the side of Jazz.
Yeah, that was really well played by Jazz there. They managed to find that kill. Hazen caught in the middle of no man's land, gets that Diva Bomb off, finds a kill off the back of it, forces that trans, punishes the ball engage. Really well played. But now you're looking at the ults from both sides and you're thinking kind of, what are they going to do? Jazz have swapped to mirror that ball. The Mei's still there. Interesting comp.
Gage coming out from Villies here onto this backline here. Brig isolated on her own, and Emo's going to come out from Johnny here, but it doesn't even matter because Room is going to get taken out by Kidjo here, and now all the resources coming out. Freeze is going to come on. out to Vidis here, but it does look like we're going to find Johnny and the side of Jazz finding the frags they need, but Melkaway is going to get the res while in Valk, and Holly's looking to apply pressure onto the backline. Huge stick onto Mordix there, and that may be the fight just over with that huge engage, but Stennis is going to find two. That's going to be the support going down on the side of Jazz here, and now Freeze coming out again. Maybe the hold coming out from the side of Jazz here. The respawn's taking its toll. And we're going to see a pause. A great,
Johnny's
great pause.
disconnected again, but wow. Stennis managed to kill two. I don't think we can underestimate the importance of the role he's played today. He has been just clinical on that echo. But really, really well played from Jazz. They went down pretty early. Zoom got killed, but they traded it out. Holly manages to kill a few. Hazen gets a counter pick on the Zen. And just really, really well played. I wasn't expecting to see the bull comp come out, but they are playing it very, very well. It is really odd to see the Zupo on the Mei in the bull comp, but he is making it his own, and he is showing just how good of a Mei he can be.
Absolutely, really good, beautiful freezes onto the main tank, or anyone that seems to want to get too close to the defending to the side of Jazz here. And it just, as you said, just showing how well. Even playing Mei in this comp, it's just weird to look at, but just making it work and just being an absolute marvel.
Yeah, and from the side of Bagär here, you must be thinking to yourself, how is this Mei finding value? You're pressing your tab, you're looking at their comp, and you're going, I've never seen this before. Why haven't I seen it before? What doesn't make it work? And you just got to be thinking, how do we deal with this Mei? How do we allow our bull to find value? Because at the moment, he is being punished. He's not finding the value he needs to find, and it's making life really, really difficult.
Absolutely, and I feel like the disconnect coming out from Johnny is going to give the side of Bagär to actually think about and discuss what they're going to do to try and break down this comp. They have so many ults invested in that fight there, and just no ground carried on through the point here. And of course, you got the dragon coming up, and maybe that can displace someone, but just with the rotations that the side of Jazz can do with their composition, you're going to struggle to find value with it.
Yeah, just looking at it now. Oh, the pause we have going better play, but it does look like Jazz do have more in terms of ult econ. They have that bomb up. They have the close to rally. They have that blizzard. How are they going to use it to their advantage?
Absolutely.
You know, from the side of Bagär, ults again pretty healthy, but they only have that dragon. They only have that mines, and how fast can they charge their ults to win this fight?
Absolutely, we're going to see maybe a flank with Stennis here. No, changing his mind, deciding that maybe it's not a value. Zepu kind of playing in an isolated position, but maybe that's just the bait. That's maybe just the play. And Zepu's going to go down low on point, and we're going to see the engage coming out from the side of Zoom here. And again, just playing for that reset, looking for the engage, and rinsing and repeating. And the Diva Bomb isn't going to find anything from the side of Hazen here. And it's just going to be looking for the engage onto the backline from Mordix, but Mordix again being punished, frozen down, and Mordix is just going to get shut down again by that Mei. Super doing an absolute brilliant job of just positioning where he's supposed to. Zoom getting counter-traded by Milky Way, and we're going to see trades going either side, and that's going to favor the defenders with these respawns. Freeze is going to come in, and Axu's just going to run down the supports in that Mei Blizzard.
Yeah, the freeze did come out, the Blizz came out. It may not have been needed. That may be kind of what kills Jazz in the end. Looking at the ults from Bagär, I think they only invested Rally in that fight. It's going to be a very, very difficult one for Jazz to hold. How do you defend against pretty much everything?
Absolutely, and we're going to see the side of Bagär playing onto this high ground again, and another dragon coming out, trying to zone the supports on the backline. Zoom looking to engage on his own, no value found, and now we're seeing Mordix out of position again, looking to try and run away and get out of there before getting killed. Beautiful eat by the side of Vili here.
A lovely headshot by Zupo through the window to eliminate that copy out of the fight. That is an incredible pick. That may be enough to seal the fight.
Absolutely, and it's just Bagär's now frozen on the feet and thinking, how is this Mei working? How are they getting so much value? And Zupo just showcasing some very amazing performance.
Yeah, they've managed to get it down from about 5 minutes to now under a minute. It's in a position where if Bagär cap this, they will not be able to confirm a draw.
And Zupo getting another beautiful headshot onto Rabad, and that's just Rub and Axu getting a kill as well. And this is just another fight, just showing and showcasing the skill of Zupo, and it's just, there's nothing that Bagär can do here.
Yeah, it's like Jazz have very quickly created this almost weird bunker comp with Zroom and Holly managing to keep pressure on the backline, and just as that ball, as that Echo and that Tracer, they just cannot find a way to get an engage off onto the backline. It seems like the back brig is just untouchable with Zupo.
Absolutely, and now the side of Jazz are in a much more comfortable position with loads of ultimates coming up. Even though loads of ults on the side of Bagär, we've got 10 seconds left. The pressure of the time is going to come up. Stennis does look like he may look for a copy onto maybe one of the players on the enemy team.
Yeah, and we need to see the copy
from
come out. There's been 2 fights where Stennis has been killed early and not managed to get those.
And Johnny's going to get the big and most important thing, kill it here. Johnny's going to get 2 kills, so Johnny's going to get 3, and that's going to be a huge kill coming up from Zupo onto that backline here. And this may be a full hold coming out from onto the second point.
I think Johnny just got a 5k.
Beautiful played by Johnny, and you saw like the ball try to go on Johnny. It's loads of people try to go on Johnny, and Zupo's just there holding M1, peeling for him, and it just allows him, and it allows Johnny to just get so much value here with 5 kills.
Yeah, Johnny on the BAP just decided enough was enough and killed 5 players. That is incredible play. That is, you know, I know Johnny's an incredibly accurate player, but you don't expect to see him kill 5 and gets the window down. Plays like Shu, the Havana incident, and managed to kill 5. It's really, really well played. It seems like the May pick, I was a doubter at the start. It seems like Jazz are managing to make it work, and they are proving pretty dominant. Stennis didn't manage to get a copy of 3 or 4 fights just because of how oppressive Zupo's May is.
There's always this funny joke in my old team where May isn't a sniper, but I don't know. Like May is a sniper.
I'm not entirely sure.
I
think Zupo may be proving us wrong. His aim on the May is just incredible. The accuracy to snipe the Echo out of the sky and completely deny that copy is incredible. There's
Absolutely.
really no other word to describe it.
Of course, and we're going to see a slight change of pace, a slight change of comp again coming out from the side of Jazz. Maybe trying to play up another trick up the sleeve and trying to overwhelm the side of Bagär.
Yeah, I did talk about this a little bit when we came into them when Jazz were defending, that I was expecting to see this comp. I was expecting to see the TP just because Zupo is a really big fan of how creative he can be with his TPs. Yeah, I'm expecting to see kind of TP come in somewhere. They're going to stabilize, get another TP going, and they're just going to keep going around the map until they find an opening.
Absolutely, and this is going to be the first TP coming onto their backline, and it just looks like Milky Way is going to get run down here, and this is exactly what they need, and we've got to find Zupo's going to look for the Zen, and that's going to be the kill, and that's going to be what they need on this brawl comp. Running down, great TP, and just the tempo that they need to obviously pressure this map early, and now you're looking at pretty much a full time back as they move into the second point.
Yeah, that is a classic Jazz engage there. They get the TP off super fast. They are so good with those TPs. The speed at which they execute that TP is just, you cannot react to it, and that's what happened with Milky Way there. Just not fast enough to be able to react to the speed at which they get the TP off. Milky Way goes down early, and everyone else crumbles. And now, as Bagär, they have swapped to that Mercy. They're leaving their Zen unprotected. They're banking on getting that high damage out onto that TP before Jazz have a chance to TP onto the backline. It is a gamble, and we will see if it pays off.
Absolutely, and that's going to see Stennis, as you say, getting all that poke damage into those 2 kills, and Stennis is just clearing up this fight with the 3k now, and it's just absolutely well played by Stennis here, looking to flank, and this is where you struggle with this brawl comp, where it's just a one-directional comp, and it's really difficult to deal with just many different angles being approached on you.
Yeah, and Stennis, very, very clinical there. I don't even think the TP managed to go down. Just the speed at which Stennis managed to clean up. They had this copy coming online. I don't think they're going to let Jazz take another TP. If they do, it may prove to be the end of them.
Minefield's going to try and cut off the rotation, and we're going to see them try to go high ground this time, and this is going to be tough, trying to push up, and they've got to be wasting time every single second that they're not getting a kill. It's going to be on pressuring them. We're going to see the bomb coming out from Billy here, and it's going to find no kills, but that doesn't matter because Stennis has found another one onto Holly, and it's just absolute brute force onto point here, trying to Z9 this, and we're going to see a huge copy, but it's not going to matter because Stennis is going to go up and kill Hazard instead, and now we're finding kills left, right, and center, and Stennis is just an absolute menace on this Echo.
Yeah, I think Zroom may have pinned off the map there, trying to pin the Ryan copy, which obviously is not ideal. But Jazz are coming up to to 5 ultimates, and it's going to be interesting how they do with this. They did manage to get the TP off, but Stennis was so clinical in shooting that exit, managed to get Holly down before the fight even started, and it's really, Jazz are finding it very, very difficult to contest this Echo pick.
Absolutely, we're going to see a fast rotation coming in, but again, you just see the pressure of Echo getting 2 kills. Great engaged by Mordex, and it's this long rotation you have between first and second point, from the first spawn to second point. It's just not working in Jazz's favor at all.
Yeah, that is an unfortunate stagger there on Hazen, getting caught in his own spawn without mech, but that is a lovely, lovely rotation from... Sorry, a lovely, lovely engage from Bagär, managing to go super clinically, getting super out really, really early, and what can you do for Jazz?
Yeah, exactly. This long rotation is just going to be suffering them, and it's just to see if they can get this TV out and go onto point, and we're going to see the early beat to try and sustain as much as possible. And we may see a Z9 coming out here. They're going to have to touch point, and we're going to see Bull go down, and this might be a C9, and we're going to be very, very close to the C9, and Holly's going to get that opening kill with the High Noon, and Trans is going to be allowing them to stay on point for longer, but now we've got the Diva Bomb going to come out in a moment. Hazen's going to get a kill onto Rhubarb, and this is exactly what they want on this composition. Johnny getting a kill onto Milky Way, and we're going to see the kills going in favor of Jazz here, and now we're going to see the Diva Bomb coming out to try and slow down this progress that they have on point, but any moment that they leave the point, we're going to see Jazz win this victory. Holly's going to get a kill, and that's going to be this game. What a beautiful tempo coming out from the side of Jazz here.
That is an incredible TP from Jazz. The awareness to get that beat off, to allow that TP, to realize nothing is stopping them from just getting to point and managing to get that TP off, stabilize on point. And as soon as that Brawl comp gets on point, it is so difficult to get out. They are just, they're in there and you cannot do anything to get them out. That is just
really, really well played from the side of Jazz here, and now we're looking at two wins in the side of Jazz.
Two. Wow.
And now either of us could be correct with our predictions. As
one of us was correct. I was not expecting that, to be honest with you. That is, well played by us.
Yeah, really well played. Jazz playing to their strengths, as you say, just changing the rotation. You would see like a lot of teams just going down main every time. They go, hang on a moment. Don't forget that there's a second spawn here. We can go out the other spawn door, go high ground, get that TP. It's been fought through, probably by Zupo. Really good TP and just really good momentum. And at the pace that they had to be able to get over and onto point with just basically being unscathed because of the beautiful beat allowing them to obviously get that reset is just very, very well played by them.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a quick bio break for both teams, allow them to reset, to gather themselves and to go into this last map, do or die 2-all. Is the reverse sweep going to come out from Jazz, or are Bagär going to manage to deny it? It is, anyone's game at this point. I said it before, I'll say it again. What an entertaining game. Zupo's TP onto that point. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and I'd be very interesting to sit in the voice chat of Bagär right now and listen to their comms and listen to their confidence and see if they can bounce back as they move into this last map. They chose this map for Sky, and it just hasn't played in their favour. And now we move out of 2CP, maybe they get to be back in their position that they want to be, back in the driving seat, and maybe they can be on a bull comp map that will favour them heavily.
Yeah, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, they're taking it to Oasis, which is, it does make sense to me. The only problem would be University and, how do they play against a Brawl comp there? But the other two maps definitely favouring Bull comps. Very, very difficult for Jazz here. I think we're going to see more of the same. I think we're going to see the May come out, and I think we're going to see the Bull comp from Bagär. I think we're going to see a repeat of what we've seen on King's Row and what we've seen on Volskaya. Jazz is seeming to find their groove, and Bagär, they just can't find an answer.
Absolutely, just very, very well played by them. And as you say, as we move into this last map, Bagär need to keep their morals high. They need to obviously deal with Jazz, and Zupo just doing a very phenomenal job of just playing May in this peculiar composition, and it's just working. It's having a purpose, and it working really, really well at shutting down these comps.
Yeah, definitely. It's, both sides have played just incredibly.
Absolutely.
So far. I don't think we can understate just how well Stennis is playing on that Echo.
Exactly.
I think we're starting, but the Echo going in, the slam stickies have been pretty brutal. We saw the play of the game last, managing to kill 3. There were fights where he's killed both supports with his E, and he's just, not giving Jazz space to breathe.
Absolutely.
But you know.
Anyways, as
very
you say,
excited to
we'll be
see.
moving into a map that favors University, favoring the side of Jazz, probably with their comps that they can play the brawl comps. Maybe looking for a beautiful TP again. But as we move to the other comps, City Center, it will be scaring to see how Jazz have an answer and what they come up with to be able to shut down Bagár's brawl comps.
Yeah, I thought I had quite a good read on Jazz. I thought I was confident in that I would know what they'd run out on. Same with Bagár. I'm pretty confident I know they're going to come out on ball, but now I'm not too sure. I think Zupo's very, very confident on his May at the moment. I think he's feeling it. I think he's in the groove. So I am expecting to see more of it. That being said, he did come out on the sim last. He got those TPs off, but I think Zupo's really in his element. I think he's managing to use that kind of those crazy TP strats, those crazy May strats to his advantage, and he's finding value off the back of it. And I think we're going to see more of that from Jazz. I think it's now just up to Bagár to work out a way to show that that is, you know, or show why that isn't a meta, why May isn't played in ball.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's ready up. We're loading in now. It'd be lovely to see what the first map is. And it does look like we are going to be towards Gardens? Is that the name of the map?
I think it may be Gardens. Yeah, it's Gardens, City Centre, and University. So Gardens, yes. And, you know, here, it's very common for teams to come out on that counter dive stuff we saw, that Orisa, that Diva, that Torb. But really up in the air. I'm expecting to see some Ball Echo. I'm expecting to see potentially that Orisa. Oh, 6-man. Okay. Yeah. Again, not totally unexpected. I think they may have some difficulty dealing with the high ground, given that the limited vertical mobility of some of the heroes on their roster doesn't really allow for that kind of upwards engage that's, you know, makes it quite difficult to contest this point, but we will see. I think, again, very, very interesting matchup.
Yeah. And of course, as you said, same over again. Sim TP coming out at the beginning of the game, but we are going to see this ball coming out from Mordex and the side of Bagár.
Yeah, and as they're going very, very early, they're looking to set the pace and set the tone of this last map very, very fast. But Johnny goes down very early.
Actually, he's going to get the trade onto Mordex, and that sounds absolutely huge pick. We're going to see a nice stabilization, but this is not going to favor the side of Jazz here. They're going to slowly get picked off, and Zoom's going to go down, and Stennis is being absolutely huge with that Echo Spam again, and we are going to see the side of Bagár taking this first cap.
Yeah, it looked to me that Jazz got to point, and then they thought to themselves, they hesitated, and they didn't know what to do. Potentially, maybe they used speed to rotate a point, and they were stuck. Johnny dies early, the Moira goes down, that comp loses all its sustainability, and it's just a matter of time for that, you know, until it crumbles.
Super looking for an opening pick onto Kidjo here. That may be the Zen going down, and then it is a beautiful engage off of that damage, and Zoom's going to find that opening pick, and now we're going to look to see the strength of the comp now coming out from the side of Bagár, and they're going to get the kicks back onto the enemy team, and Stennis being an absolute menace on that Echo, and we're going to just see the composition of the side of Jazz going down slowly.
Yeah, that was a very, very close fight. Johnny again going down pretty late actually in that fight, but you know, they traded the backlines and it went in the favor of Bagár, but they have managed to kill two, and it looks like Jazz may actually manage to flip this point.
Absolutely, Stennis looking to pressure again onto Zupo here, and it does look like we are going to see just the respawns being in favor of...
Looks like Johnny has disconnected again. The pause hasn't come out. A little bit interesting. Quite unfortunate. Jazz are playing a 5v6 at the moment.
Zoom's going to get an E. Zoom's going to get the big EMP, and it doesn't matter that they're down, Johnny. It doesn't matter because they have the pace, they have the aggression that they need. Huge EMP coming out from Zupo, allowing and enabling the whole of the team comp with that speed to be able to set that tempo and get those kills.
Yeah, I was not... you know, I think both sides there pretty confused that the pause doesn't come in early. They obviously don't have auto pause on, you know, a lesson for everyone there. But, you know, Jazz managed to win the 5v6, and it's just a great example of how strong tempo can be for a comp like 6-man. They go early, if they go first, you know, doesn't matter they don't have a Moira. The speed at which they go and the speed at which they kill things is just too great, and there's nothing they can do against that EMP engage.
Absolutely, just very, very well played. Very, very well played 6v5 from the side of Jazz here.
Yeah, pretty... Again, it is just quite surreal seeing that 5v6 go in the favor of Jazz, but you know, that's got to be really playing on the minds of Bagár now. How are they losing that fight? Can they manage to work out a way? But they are coming up to pretty much all of their ultimates apart from Diva Bomb. Jazz, they are looking like they may have lost They may have potentially lost Cole there. I wasn't entirely sure, but you know, that is a big ultimate to lose from 6-man. He should build it up fast enough, but is it going to be fast enough to allow them to sustain it through what is going to be a very, very heavy push from Bagár next fight?
Absolutely. We are going to see, obviously, the Lucio beat going to be up, luckily, for the side of Axu, and maybe that gives him the edge to be able to obviously sustain and look for kills as they engage. But it's going to be a tough one with the amount of ultimates that the side of Bagár have. And it does look like we have the reconnection coming in, and the pause is going to be coming through. Unpause is going to be coming through.
Yeah, and you know, fight win from Jazz. They're looking pretty confident. They're in the driver's seat. How are they going to take this next fight down, ults?
Absolutely.
You know, you're expecting to see maybe this beat goes in early, maybe they use it for stabilization. It's really up to Axu how they want to set the tempo for this. And, you know, can they stabilize?
Absolutely, and now we're going to see maybe looking for an engage onto the backline here, coming out from Zoom. And Zoom is going to be looking to dive onto their backline.
Yeah, it's a lovely promo by Zoom, completely mitigating that rally, getting the Zen out the fight, getting the pick. They have traded, but that is a trade in favor of Bagár. Getting that monkey out, they lose a lot of their tankness.
Mortis going to get a kill onto Johnny, and that's going to be both backline coming in. That's going to be absolutely huge on the side of Bagár here, and now they're going to be able to push forward and look to apply pressure to the last few people that are surviving on the side of Jazz. Jazz looking to just stall as long as possible, get as much percentage as possible before looking to regroup.
Yeah, that's really good discipline from Bagár, not over-investing. They use what they need to use, they get the fight win, and, you know, they flip the point. You now are looking at, I know both sides looking at their ult recon. That EMP coming online, can the trans come out? Can it catch the EMP? I think that's what will decide this first map.
Absolutely.
But, you know, this may be a really early Minds engage. We've seen that a few times from Mordex today, looking to go early, looking to deny that rotation. Can Jazz manage to go faster? Can they get on the backline like we saw from them last fight? That 5v6, you know, it really depends on who can go first.
Absolutely, more or less looking for the engage with the Minds, but it doesn't matter because the fight's taking place elsewhere. Trans coming out, no pulse found, but from the thing, and this is the brawl that they need. And the longer it lasts, and Swoom's gonna get a kill, and Hazen's gonna get a kill onto Milky Way, and that's gonna be the backline down again for the side of Bagár here. And this fight is just rolling into the favor of Jazz here, playing for their engage, looking for the dive onto that backline, and that's absolutely huge from them.
Yeah, it seems like we may have forgotten to show the gameplay. There's not much we can do about that. Right now, production has gone AWOL, but it is 90% to 80%. Jazz have no ults. Interesting matchup. There we go, we're back. We have the gameplay. Last one.
Actually looking for a pressure here, and that's going to be a huge mini pick by Mordex onto Johnny here. Super's going to trade one in return, and they're going to get these kills, and then they might be able to push in here with this huge rally coming out from the side of Milky Way.
Yeah, Johnny has DC'd yet again, unfortunately, but down both supports. Rallies up for Bagár. This does look really, really promising for them. They may be able to win this fight, but then you are expecting Jazz to potentially get another fight off. They have that pulse, they have that beat. You know, they may have lost Cole yet again. You know, they gotta make do. Can they win this kind of, you know, you're expecting them to lose this fight. Can they get a recontest off? Can they win the recontest? You know,
absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yes. It's tough, but really big engage from Milky Way here. And as you can see, like, really sad disconnect from Johnny again here. Just Johnny's clearly having internet problems at the moment wherever he is. Which is a rough one to have in this close fought best of 5, but it is what it is.
It's never what you want to see on a 2-all final map, but you've got to make do. And, you know, they're doing well.
Seeing the Unpause coming through. Stennis is going to get a DMEC onto Hesant, and Rubat is going to get the follow through, and now the point is going to be flipped in favor of Bagár here.
Yeah, and you see these, it's like I talked about with the recontest, they don't have that call. They're having to work with beat, they have to go early. Can the pulse find value?
Absolutely, and we're going to see the grenade, the Diva Bomb get no value here. Holly's going to kill herself, and we're going to see Mortis get a kill onto his room, and now the momentum's going in favor of Bagár here, and we're going to be looking to pressure the backline, maybe, and Mortis is going to get killed onto Axu now, and now we're just seeing the snowball coming out from the side of Bagár here, maybe looking to take this first point, and it's just absolutely huge from them here. And they're going to see the overtime ticking down. Maybe a recontest, no recontest going down. And going to see the Echo taking value, the DC from Johnny favoring Bagär on this first map.
Yeah, we saw, Holly pull out an "Are you bad" moment, pulses herself, doesn't find that value on the pulse that they needed to find, but, it is looking good from both sides. Bagär playing really, really well, managing to, capitalize on the fact that Johnny keeps disconnecting. Hopefully we don't see that continue, but still all to play for. This map is obviously the Brawl map, where we are expecting to see what we've seen from Jazz, that Brawl, maybe swap to a Sim once they scout what's being run, but
absolutely, it does look like we are going to see the counter dive, the anti dive though, and it's important that they try and enable Zippo here as they push into this fight. And Mordex needs to be evaluate where the May is straight away and make sure that he doesn't int his position away by getting his frozen.
Yeah, how do they deal with this May that's been so clinical, or such a problem for Bagär to deal with?
Absolutely, and Stennis looking for some poke straight away onto this counter dive and trying to force resources earlier, as we see every single time. Playing it slow, looking to force resources, and they're looking for a really nice engage. But it doesn't matter. Flanks coming out, and Holly and Zupo are going to find a kill onto the Zen now, but Stennis is going to trade one back onto the other support line. And it does look like Stennis is being absolutely crazy, being pocketed in the back, and they're going to find another kill onto Holly, and Zupo's going to go down, and now the fight is going in favor of Bagär here. Again, you see the pace going nice and slowly, forcing resources, and then obviously being able to execute the game plan.
Yeah, they got that pick early on the Zen, but it didn't matter. They couldn't find a way to push their advantage. They couldn't get the picks they needed, and Stennis, the DPS, they come in, they are just too clinical.
Absolutely, and now it's going to allow the position being that they want, that Bagär want, allowing them to set up, and now, again, same composition, same strategy. They're going to be pushing in. They're looking for poke, and that's what they want. The kill onto Holly again, and now the engage is going to come through, and it's just they're going to now be in a really difficult position again. That to try and get onto this point and try and push forward.
Yeah, it seems like Jazz ran out on the Arista. They took a gamble, and it didn't seem to be working. You see all of these ults from Bagär, and it just looks pretty. Oh, actually, is stood still. Gets pulsed for it, And
Stennis gets two, and that's just the team fight. Just like it feels like the side of Jazz are getting Wi-Fi diffed here right now, and it's really, really rough to see Johnny DCing again. And it's such a shame. Close to the end of the tournament, this is the way it's going, and this is the way it's ending.
Yeah, but it happens. It's unlucky. You hate to see it. We could have had a really close matchup here, and we were for a very long time, but unfortunately it seems the Wi-Fi has got the better of us. Johnny leaving again, but I mean, look at the ults from the side of Bagär. It is just going to be an uphill battle for Jazz, even without Window. There is just very, very little I think they can do in the face of what they see. You need to get this really big bongo coming out. Maybe it needs to be massive ults from the side of Jazz, and if they can't perform, obviously Bagär are going to take the series.
Absolutely, and it is what it's going to be, and it's just a tough position, as you say, for the side of Jazz to be in. It's just the copy is going to be absolutely huge this fight again, I'm sure, and Stennis is just being an absolute menace on this Echo.
Yeah, Stennis' Echo all series has just been absolutely just incredible. Just ruthless in every aspect. He has been hitting massive stickies with the combo with Mordex. His E usage has just been incredible. I do say his copies maybe not the cleanest from time to time, but his ability inside the Echo, or when he's on Echo, is just been a real problem for Jazz.
Yes.
They're still waiting for the reconnect from Johnny. When he gets back, we should be underway, and hopefully, praying to the internet gods that he doesn't have any more disconnects. But I mean, the series so far has been
beautiful, absolutely beautiful game to watch and cast and be involved in, and it's just phenomenal to see two high-level teams with completely different play styles and different compositions being so tightly knit in fighting each other.
Yeah, definitely. It was watching that King's Row last fight, or was it second last fight, where Bagär managed to get that touch in 0.07 meters, and then every ult in the game was getting thrown. And I was just thinking to myself, this is why people find it find Overwatch hard to follow. Everything was happening. There was so much going on, and
Absolutely,
this is a result of the direct clash between these two people. And we have word that Johnny is being subbed out for a ringer, so we'll see that sub come in soon and fill in for the last few minutes of the game.
absolutely. I hope it carries on, but it's just so difficult for the side of for the side of just to be in.
Yeah, and you have this ringer coming in first match. He needs to try and can he make a difference? We saw Johnny get that 5k on Volskaya. See that 5k was the death of him. Caused his internet to
The game was
become an
just
issue.
like, no, sorry, you're having too much of an impact on off support. It's not allowed.
It's not allowed. I do need to see a replay of that after the game because that was pretty incredible. Watching his name just
Is that going
Johnny,
in your
Johnny,
highlight?
Johnny.
Is that going in your highlight reel?
Not mine, but definitely Johnny's. That's going in the goodbye Overwatch montage. Yeah, but what a great way to end Overwatch 1. Really, what a match. Two different comps. We're not getting to see the ball v ball, which has been a bit of a treat, given that that's kind of the only thing.
The only thing you see, absolutely.
Yeah. And 2-2 final map again. They have that ringer coming in. Should be here shortly, and we can resume with the match. Have you checked your email for keys for Overwatch 2?
I didn't see any, and I'm very sad.
Yeah, me too. Gonna be forced to watch streamers all day tomorrow.
Yep. And I'm working. I might have to just leave my PC on. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunate, but
It's
get
needed.
those
I
Pokemon
need
hours
to get
up.
Overwatch 2. I need to get my Overwatch 2 out there.
Yeah, definitely. And we have started again. Sorten is in the game. Their ringer, and we are back.
We are going to see the stagger on to Hasn't here, and that's going to be a rough one. Going to swap in and off and reset her ult charge whatever she had.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but I think they do lose a bit of charge on D.Va. They're obviously not too important, but now all the ults coming in here from Bagär.
We're going to see Villy's going to find a D-Mech onto Hazen here, and that's going to be not the pick you want to see. We're going to see Zupo flanking onto Zenyatta here, and Zupo's going to find Mordex again, but it doesn't even matter because at that point the damage is done from the side of Bagär, and they're going to just clear up these kills one after another, investing very few ults in this fight.
Yeah, like I said, the ults came out from Jazz, but they just weren't enough. They needed to find that big value onto that Blizz, and they just couldn't. And Bagär, very clinical. Get the mines out, get the trans out, and win the fight. And now you're coming in here. You have the rally, really. They've swapped off the Kree. They only have rally to win this fight. Do or die territory, 5%.
Yes, absolutely. It's a really tough one. Now we're going to see the touch coming in from the side, and the rally is going to come up and out from the side of Jazz here. And you're going to just see Stennis being an absolute menace again, getting that D-Mech onto Hezent there. And it's going to be really, really rough. And now we're going to see the copy out onto May here. And Sultan's going to go down, and this is just going to be the final piece to the cake. And it's just an absolute snowball coming out from the side of Bagär here.
Yeah, and I mean, what a way to end the game. The copy on the May, very rounded. The May had been an issue all game. And Stennis, definitely my MVP, swaps to the May to win the game.
Phenomenally played by him, and everyone else on their team just really showcasing what bull comps can be up to and how menacing they can be.
Yeah, I mean, what a game. 3-2. Obviously incredibly well played by Bagär. Their bull comp is looking very, very good, but Jazz, they came in with some very interesting strategies. They played to their strength, they made it work, and they didn't come out on top, and it's unfortunate, but very, very well played by Bagär.
Absolutely, 73% kill participation coming out from Stennis. It just absolutely amazes me how well he played on Echo.
Yeah, so I think we'll choose our MVP, and then we'll talk to them. And then we have a special guest joining as well. So, Tree, who would your MVP for this series be?
I think we are both in agreement, and who the MVP is for this series. Obviously, for me personally, going towards the side of Stennis, just phenomenally played.
Yeah, me too. Stennis on the Echo,
just
incredible.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. So
That is not to take away from everyone else in Bagár. They all play phenomenally. It was nice to see the Milky Way doing really, really well. And just even Mordex as well had some really good engages on ball here. It's just, there's too many names to pick out on, but it's obvious that Stennis stood out in the kill feed and just had so much value on that Echo.
yeah, really, it was just incredible play. The coordination between the slams and the stickies were really, really good. I think we're going to have a poll in chat to see who people think their MVP would be. See if people are in agreement. And then, I mean, we'll see. I think in the meantime, actually, we can talk to the manager of Jazz. And they can, give us their thoughts. I
got confused for a second because I thought you were the manager of Jazz, but then I realised you're the coach, not the manager.
I'll bring him in now. He may not be prepared.
Dude, I voted for you, of course.
Tweet, you're live. Hello, Mr. Twee. You had something to say to everyone.
Oh yes. We were just chatting at the end. We wanted to keep the high spirits. We're really annoyed about the connection issues that haunt us towards the end of the game. We really build back momentum. I mean, when we weren't able to get the second point of King's Row, I was shaking my pants, but the team pulled through, and it showed that just how amazing this squad is that we've been able to put together over such a short period of time. And hey, the Bagär, they were shaking in their pants. We were coming for them. Momentum was halted due to the internet. I mean, yeah, it's an unfortunate way to go out, but I just want to thank the team for giving 110%. Making it this close is truly amazing, and we had it in the bag. They were shaking. They needed their 5-minute break to calm down, and the internet connections. I mean, yeah, it is what it is, but going into this, some people saying, oh, it's going to be a 3-0. Nah, it's way closer. So going into Overwatch 2, hopefully the one player we can drop is bad internet connections, and we'll be absolutely golden.
Very well played.
Very well played. It is obviously unfortunate to see the internet issues, but how well did Jazz play? Seeing Johnny get that 5k super on the May, it's obviously something to be proud of.
Yeah, and my god, more May is yet to come in Overwatch 2, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't think Zupo is going to stop playing May anytime soon. I think after that performance, he's going to be very, very keen to continue.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're gonna hit the ground running. I mean, everyone's checking all their 17 different accounts to see if they got a key, and we're gonna share the keys friendly between us. So hopefully we'll be able to be up and running in Overwatch 2 as quick as possible. Find out the meta, and we're gonna hit back stronger than ever.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much for your words of wisdom. And
Thank you very much.
Well played.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, take care.
Take care. So next we have our casters MVP, Stennis, joining us to talk about his thoughts on the game. I can move him in now. Hello, Stennis.
Hello.
Really well played.
How are you feeling after a very close victory?
Not great, to be honest. I didn't hope to win like that, but I guess we take it and just move on again.
Yeah, I mean, your Echo was pretty dominant. How were you feeling on the Echo?
It felt good. I started with the Sombra. We normally play the Sombra, but they're like brawl, like their monkey comps. I didn't really get value, so I just had to go for my comfort pick, and it kind of worked.
Comfort pick it was. I mean,
yeah,
seeing those E's come out, killing both supports. I remember on Volskaya, incredibly well played. Do you have anything to say for your team or for yourself? Anyone to give a shout out to?
Do you mean like specifically in my team, or
just anyone? Just this is your chance if you want to shout someone out.
Then
you can plug yourself if you want.
Nah, but I'll plug my team and my coach. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very wholesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Tree. Any more from you?
No, thank you very much for joining me casting. Very enjoyable experience casting with you, and seeing some really good high-level gameplay from both teams is just always enjoyable to watch. And I've learned loads of stuff today, and I should fear Maze when I see them. Thank you very much.
Yeah, really well played, Stennis. Thank you very much for joining us.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. And chat has decided on their MVP as Zupo. I think we may have time to talk to him very, very briefly about his May, which will be probably quite interesting. And then we can wrap it up. See if I can get Zupo to come join us and talk about his experience today. Yeah, I think we have time to speak to him. I can move him very quickly. Zupo.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, how you
Very
doing?
unfortunate end.
Very unfortunate end to a great game, though. It was a great series.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What did what were you thinking on the May? What was your feeling?
I feel like the first 2 maps I wasn't really pulling my weight, but I think on the third map, I believe it was King's Row. I think that's where it clicked, and I finally got back into my own gameplay, into my tempo.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. If you check the VOD, I saw you coming out on this May in I think it was a counter dive comp, and I said, it's not a very, very common pick, but you can't expect anything different from Mr. CC himself. And you showed how strong May can be, and you really, you made it your own. I think we talked about it a lot, and then we saw you on Volsk finding,
Yeah.
incredible value on that backline, making the Jazz backline pretty indestructible, allowing Johnny to do what Johnny does best, keeping that ball CC'd. Do you think you're going to continue this kind of run of form into Overwatch 2, or?
Definitely. I feel like the strength of our backline in synergy with our best hero picks is one thing that makes us a really good team, and that's a reason enough for me to not drop that and keep that playstyle up. Maybe with new heroes we might see some changes. We don't know what we're getting in the future, but I will definitely stay with the May for the time being.
Yeah, and we love to see them, May, definitely.
Absolutely.
Then, anyone you would like to shout out? Anyone you would like to give a special mention to?
Well, first of all, obviously my team. They all played really, really well. And also to the enemies and the 2E's organization as a whole to make this possible and give us such a great end to the era of Overwatch 1.
Yeah, definitely. What a great ending it was.
Well, thank you very much for coming in and talking again. And I was very impressed by your May gameplay. And as I said just moments ago, I am now going to fear more Mays. Regardless where I see them, I will fear them more. And yeah, fantastic display of both skill by both teams. And it's a shame it had to end the way it ended, but still, you should both go away being very, very proud of your gameplay.
Yeah, we will get our chance back. We will get our rematch.
Of course, of course.
Thank you very much, and I think that's it from us
Right,
at
thank
the
you for
casting
having me.
desk. No worries, you put it. Yep.
Again, thank you very much, and thanks for casting with me, Animated. I really enjoyed it, and
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
I think we will cast again at some point together. And yeah, well done, Simon, with his producing, and yeah, fantastic.
Thank you all for joining us on the final Overwatch 1 tournament from Too Easy. And from us, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.